So, Abfahrt. Erwartungshaltung Navi gewinnt, aber ich glaube, der Unterschied ist nicht groß.
Navi going to get rid of the Jace and the Cassio. No Cassio first picks for us today, as the Jarvan, Camille, and Bard are removed by Shifters.
Yeah, obviously Camille being taken out makes me think that Shifters really don't want to play that game. They don't want to play to Navi's tune, and they maybe want to put stand on something a little bit more stable, because we know Paris in solo queue has been spamming the living crap out of Camille lately, and he's just really wants to play a champion, really wants to go on stage, and really wants to just make the map chaotic.
Wow, warte mal, sehe ich richtig, dass Sheos Ding ganz angehen?
In normal champion, as the Victor is locked in for.
Sehe ich es richtig?
We expect Paduk. I'll be
Du
honest.
bekommst runter, es sind 400 Gramm Hack und 500 Gramm Markwag. Sheos Brille läuft die ganze Zeit an.
So I tend to just look at it as a bot laner rather than a mid laner for my first instinctual reaction. And Victor does give you a lot. It's good wave clear, relatively safe. You have the gravity field to get yourself out of any sticky situations. And because of that, it allows roaming supports.
Yeah, and if you're just tuning into LEC after a hiatus, this is the daily mage handshake that we usually open the draft with.
Yep.
Usually it's Cassio, Victor, Orianna, Syndra, and you can just pick whichever one you feel like on the day. Today it will be the Victor-Syndra matchup, very exciting. Probably it's gonna match each other, as the Syndra was picked into the Victor. Obviously has the second pick and or last pick, so they can just choose where they want to put the Syndra. Probably want the Victor matchup.
It also means that you don't get Syndra into Cassio later on in Fearless, which is a matchup we often see Syndra picked into the Cassio, because you can just knock her away with the Scat of the Week, which is quite nice. Leona picked up by Navi. It's kind of seen as the best support outside of Camille, generally.
Schön als Antwort jetzt?
It's because there's so many 2v2s.
Oder alles da.
In mid and jungle in the river, and Leona.
Alles da gegen Syndra halt immer ein bisschen scheiße, ne?
Shield of Daybreak being on a 6-second cooldown just means just gets so many CC rotations out compared to an Alistar whose combo is like 14 seconds cooldown.
Oh, it's so long.
She gets a lot more CC out of her kit than other supports, as the Nocturne Shen used to be a top jungle combo. Now I think the Shen will be in the support. Really fun for the Shen. Has that Sun United, can go in with that.
Wo ist Cadel in meinem Kofferraum? Eingesperrt, kommt nicht raus.
Yeah, it's the invisible submarine combo without the twitch at the moment, as the Nocturne pots out the lights and then you chuck in a Shen on top of him. Zahen, the answer into it. We have seen Mainta on this already once, but it is also a Relech type.
Zahen auf das ist Jungle Ding.
ED bruises that can come out of the jungle.
Yeah, I played two Zahen games today and Zolo keep blinding it. I don't think it's a good top lane blind.
Sure.
I think if you're blinding Zahen, you're a very bold man.
What would you ban if you blinded a Zahen?
Varus and Vayne.
Okay, at the moment we ban Lock.
Yeah, so I think the Zahen will go into the jungle as it's picked into the Nocturne. And
boah, aber Zahen into Nocturne ist nicht so nice, ne?
Lock ban coming out now, a little bit later than usual. Prio on Lock has dropped the last few days. Hasn't had the best success on stage in the LEC. I think 0-3 so far. And teams are
finde ich jetzt nicht so super, das Matchup.
into these Bruiser Mage comps, as we're seeing.
Und Nocturne Shen ist halt sehr OP.
With these assassins, especially someone like Lock that relies on having his ultimate
Kali und Lock
upgraded early by getting the purgatory stacks on people. Is good teams just don't let
Bist halt deutscher Cadel, was heißt das? Ist was Gutes oder was Schlechtes?
Like, oh, he's
krank oder warum mit Maske? Wahrscheinlich, ne? Wahrscheinlich
sure
krank.
a tower dive is harder to execute.
Yeah, I think Lock's biggest problem is that he's too fair. He doesn't have any stupid invulnerability, untargetability, invisibility.
Ja, es könnte Syndra natürlich immer noch Mitte sein, right? Also die können die entscheiden hier. Ja, die lassen sich den Saalen flex, aber es ist nicht, es ist Fundament super. Sollte Syndra Mitte sein, AD Carry, Varus. Boah, ich hasse Varus gegen Nocturne, Mann. Ich bin irgendwie noch nicht so ganz überzeugt vom Navi-Draft, ey. Corki finde ich schon besser. Corki besser. Corki auf dem Patch wieder mehr gespielt. Durch die kleinen Buffs, die er bekommen hatte. Aber der wollte Trades genervt. Also...
Vayne is banned, so I think Gnar, Renekton, Kazante. Usually one of the three champions you want to set up with that Vayne ban. They really hate playing as Vayne. And you can really pick whichever one you want. I think Gnar is probably the
ich würde Ziggs hier nicht so gut finden. Ich meine, Ziggs natürlich super. Ziggs natürlich super. Wow, sie könnten Gnar picken. Vayne ist gebannt. Jace ist gebannt. Gnar wäre der obvious one. Kann es dann besser gehen. Aber Renekton ist offen, du solltest nah gehen. Du solltest nah gehen.
Odom, the big Rumble player, always says he wants at least one big AoE CC.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Olaf lock-in.
Is going to be the pick here.
Blind pick Olaf.
Well, jetzt könnte Nalas bekommen.
Losing lane matchups. Jace is the
Das Maintal ist, ich finde, Maintal ist nicht so gut auf ziemlich vielen Champions.
And Olaf really coming to the meta right now.
Nas ist ein Champion, auf dem er okay ist.
Low DPS comps, high burst.
Sie könnten auch noch Rumble Nas picken, theoretisch.
Low mobility, yes.
Rumble Nas sehe ich, am besser sehe ich nicht.
It's not one of those easy peel mandarins, right? It's one
Der Jax pick ist Dogshit, oder nicht?
Into the Olaf is
I like this matchup. It's a very volatile matchup. And there's a lot of niche little
Was macht der Jax hier in dem Game?
this matchup, for example, Olaf's in this matchup usually.
Für wen sind wir? Puh, das ist eine gute Frage. Was macht der Jax hier in dem Game?
Walk up E him and then Q and walk away with a slow.
Sure.
So we'll see if Rooster does that.
Das Matchup ist sehr volatile. Wir haben gestern Dokla gegen
matchup you will most likely go 0-10. So with the supports as well.
Quatsch gesehen in dem Matchup.
A lot of attention towards the top lane.
Yeah, I expect that too. I wouldn't be surprised actually if it's a 2v2 lane top for a little while at the start, because supports don't lose too much from that. Let's talk about what these compositions wants to do in totality though. On the side of Shifters,
ich mag den Navi Draft gar nicht, by the way.
You've got the Shen and the Nocturne combination, and then you have Poke coming out from your Victor and Ziggs. On the other side, Navi, perhaps a little bit more skirmish heavy.
Yeah. Navi's comp need Real Edge to be strong. If Real Edge is not strong this game, then Shifters can just dive past him and just kill their backline and be fine. But if the Zahen is one of
Gegen LCS aus 2-0.
to get to the backline,
2-0.
he will just stack up that passive and just run the fight afterwards, even if you kill one or two of his carries. So big eyes on Real Edge this game. On the Zahen needs to make sure he's in a good spot so that he doesn't just get ran over by the Shifter's comp. Because Shifter has a very scary comp. A lot of dive. Olaf, Nocturne with a Shen ult and a Ziggs ult behind.
Ja, ich finde persönlich Doppel Global, also allgemein Global ist einfach sehr stark.
Small pause, obviously something going on.
Nocturne Shen insbesondere natürlich, machen so viel Sideline Pressure. Top Matchup ist extrem volatile. Hatten wir von Dokla Exhaust in demselben Matchup, nicht Ghost. In dem Fall hat sich Rooster für Ghost entschieden. Wir haben Ignite bei Mainter. Das heißt, All-In-Potenzial ist natürlich voll und ganz beim Jax. Also All-Ins sollte der Jax gewinnen müssen.
What we haven't discussed is how they do that.
Yes, let me tell you.
Oh, you can just tell me. Yeah, I was gonna give you some options, but you can just go.
Both top laners have opted for a combat summoner.
Okay.
That will be the battlefield for the junglers to fight. Real Edge has the push in almost nowhere, I think. Shifter's laners should be stronger. I think the Ziggs should push in the Corki. The Victor outranges the Syndra early.
Ist die Shifter kommen nicht anzusehen mit zweimal Range und dreimal hart rein? Naja, du musst ja, also, die haben eine relativ geile Standoff auf, bei den Objectives, weil so gesehen hat Navi ein Hard Engage Tool mit der Leona Ulti. Wenn nicht, dann müssen sie durch Minenfelder durchlaufen oder Ziggs oder Victor Poke. Und dann später, wenn sie reingehen sollten, hast du natürlich Lichter aus plus Shen Ulti. Also ich glaube, koordinieren für Navi wird es nicht so leicht jedenfalls. Wäre jetzt meine Wahrnehmung davon.
He's being very cringe right now. I hate when support.
It is giga cringe, but he's gonna force Mainta away for a moment.
Gut, erneut Top-Lane-Matchup ist sehr volatil.
Rooster picks up a second axe, gets another undertow. Mainta here, I mean, if he was really kind to his bot lane, yeah, just ignite the support, and then he has to, his tempo is absolutely screwed.
Vielleicht hat nicht mal die XP davon gemisst, aber er hat Wave-Kontrolle. War es nicht übel bad? Das kann ich dir jetzt nicht sagen, weil ich nicht Top-Lane-Main bin, aber in meinem Kopf ist dieses Matchup halt vor allem mit Ignite auf Level 1, 2 super Jax-favored. Und eventuell nimmst du da ein bisschen Aggression raus aus dem Matchup, aber then again, ne? Es ist nur meine Einschätzung, ich weiß nicht.
I like to have my R not be smartcast.
Wait, really? Wow.
Ich habe außerdem vergessen, heute das Interview mit Parus anzufragen. Das machen wir nächste Woche. Nachdem sie von G2 auf die Fresse bekommen, nächste Woche Montag. Oder die Woche drauf spielen sie gegen Heretics, dann haben wir wieder ein Interview.
I think a lot of good players use indicators. I don't.
Sollte der Shen stoppen mit Ignite, weiß ich nicht, weil dann kann er weiter nicht pressuren und für Shen ist es scheißegal. Der schaut jetzt 2 Minions seines E-Level 2.
Make sure it's in fuse range.
Yeah, in fuse range and just max
Für
range.
W. Der Good Way vom Produkt. Ist die einzige Series heute? Nein. Die zweite Series ist KC gegen Heretics.
Yeah, I mean, basically on GP.
KC Heretics und dann nehmen wir danach on-stream die Esports Recap auf. Weil sonst wird mir das zu spät, heute Nacht noch aufzunehmen.
You can use on almost every champion these days.
Oh yeah, like indicators are definitely the better way.
Ist denn mit Biz Bruder?
If you have old hands.
Ja.
Sometimes you want to, take it off shift. You can put it on a mouse bind, actually. I have my wards on a mouse bind. There's Paris walking out towards mid here, trying to make sure that Poby can catch this entire wave, as Stend is also here.
Sie haben die Q von Corki ewig nicht geändert, ne.
Very good lane control. Victor maybe is a good mid laner after all.
Who is?
Victor.
Victor?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Ja, mit dem Matchup nasty as fucking early game.
He takes a chunk from the satchel and a little bouncing bomb out of Paduk. Both the supports are looking to try and play towards this topside Scuttle Crab, but I think that Sheo has just given up on this one. He's like, oh,
Wir waren die Teams an Spieltag 1, das war Spieltag 1.
Well, you do have Prime in mid, but we don't really want to play for it, so we're just going to walk down towards bot side, which means we'll still have an exchange of Scuttle Crabs as the Zenith blade goes down onto Stend. He is making sure that Rooster can catch this wave safely underneath the tower. And this has kind of become more of the support's job, is, yes, you can be a Camille, you can be jumping around and finding fights, but often you're here as a, hey...
Ach, du meinst jetzt Shifters und Navi, oder was?
As a laner. It's like, hey... Look,
Sorry. Meinst du Shifters und Navi, wie deren erstes Spiel war?
Do we have a weighted blanket for me? And that's what Stend
Oder...
are. They're that comforting blanket. And sometimes it's a blanket that can kill people. And that's
in big trouble here.
Has to flash away from the shadow dash. Now
Tot oder
dashes
nicht?
as well with the leap strike flash.
Hat im Kopf, Navi war nicht chancenlos? Nein, Navi war nicht chancenlos. Navi hätte zweimal gewinnen müssen.
Yeah,
Gegen
and that's
KC.
why you're here. Yeah, because if you go bot lane, there's nothing really to do. You're not gonna dive the Ziggs. You're not really gonna dive a Corki as a Ziggs. And top laners haven't chosen TP. 2 combat summoners right now, and it's such a volatile matchup. We talked about it before. Whoever dies first is really gonna have a tough game. And I think right now Mainter in a very hard position.
Ja, Navi hätte 2-0 gewinnen sollen gegen KC und Shifters hatte Game 2, glaube ich, richtig arschvoll bekommen. Und also Game 1 haben sie gewonnen und Game 3 hätten sie, glaube ich, auch gewinnen können. Nee, Game 3 war die, nein, stimmt, die haben Kalista Renata gespielt, Kalista Fresh gespielt, diese Vollidioten, in Game 3, stimmt. Die hatten den unwinnable Game 3 Draft. Stimmt.
Well, now Rooster is only 1 level away from getting that Ragnarok available, from getting that invulnerability. And yes, he's down to summoners, but we haven't seen Navi actually be able to develop a lead through that top side, which is... They are winning in other lanes. I guess Samdi's got a bit of a gold lead as well in bot, but it's nothing too substantial.
Yeah, I mean, the problem right now for Real Edge is that, okay, your lanes are losing, but you can farm your jungle. But the real problem is going to come when the enemy team with the winning lanes starts walking into your jungle and taking your beloved camps. That's where he's really going to have to make a decision. Does he fight or does he run away? 2 very, very explosive Yordles in the bot lane, trying out their gadgets on each other.
Mies unangenehm, die sollten Drake nehmen. Bald, Navi.
Well, the Ziggs is winning, but...
Navi, Shifters, Entschuldigung. Shifters sollte bald Drake nehmen.
He has already used the teleport. The wave should be okay for him. I think that's a cannon wave coming in.
Sheo jetzt Base, ich mag diese Round-Top-Lane sein nicht.
What comforter do you need?
Er wartet auf 5:30. Beide Giant auf 5:30.
Changing oracles as well as Rooster trying to trade with Mainter, who does hit level 6 first. Has that Grandmaster's might now, but shouldn't really have too much threat on Sten. Now Electra's coming across, Shield of Daybreak, dreaded return for the pullback on the Shen.
Sten, du bist so fucking dumm. Guck mal, es ergibt keinen Sinn, du bist so dumm, Sten. Dieses 3 gegen 3 niemals nehmen, einfach Drake spielen. Schaut Botlane State an, einfach Drake spielen.
He didn't have that Ragnarok. If he has that, I think he gladly takes the fight. You saw while Sten was fighting, he was hitting the minions, throwing axes on them, really trying to get XP, but this is the problem of having your support in your lane all the time. You fall behind in XP.
It's true.
And Mainter and Navi had a little tiny window.
Gab's Rosteränderungen? Bei Shifters ja, der mit Sten statt Trümbi. Not gegen Elend. Und, well, Sheo hat ja letztes Bild am Ende schon gespielt. Aber ja, Sheo statt Bukake. Navi selber Roster.
500 gold lead still here for Shifters as Sheo pings over to level 6 and now that Paranoia adds another threat on the side of Shifters.
So I'm a bit surprised. Stendas went for Grasp. It's very unusual.
Stimmt, war mal richtig gut, ja. Erzählen wir noch ein paar Stories vom Krieg.
Maybe this was his plan. He's gonna run around the map and fight a lot, get those grasps.
Stacks on people. That is an odd one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a misclick or not, because...
Gibt's da keinen anderen Support?
So good on support.
Gegen Elite.
You engage, you become tanky, and then when it runs out, your job is already finished. You maybe have your protoplasm harness to absorb some damage. But definitely will hurt if it taunts in. Not gonna be quite as tanky as he usually would.
Yeah, nowhere near. It can be a little bit tricky for him.
Wie Games B ist eigentlich 200k bezahlt, zu viele.
Da
war wirklich mal weit besser als aktuell. Ja, ja, natürlich schon. Nee, ich weiß, dass er deutlich besser war. Aber letztes Jahr in Brasilien war das schon schlecht. Und ich weiß nicht, der GM von BDS, der muss gefeuert werden. Weil der hat nämlich letztes Jahr seine Games gesehen in Brasilien und dachte sich, that's the guy.
Contests around these grubs.
Absolutely. I think Relay really wants to avoid the Olaf. Olaf does really well into Zahen just because Zahen can't really get the Olaf off him. And the Ragnarok just keeps extending, and he is eventually winning that. When he goes into the passive, maybe the Ragnarok will fall off, but still, it's still a win. So I think Relay really wants to fight together with Paris. They need to link up, really play off the Leona CC, because if Relay gets one shot, it's a bad fight. He needs to be the carry in these early skirmishes.
Can we talk about map movements a little bit here, Finn? Somebody open through mid is now passing.
Tschüss, am ersten Arbeitstag, wie war's?
Rooster has just been left off. No one is answering him at all. Navi are investing 5 players to make sure they can fight these guys.
Nein, BF sollte niemals eine Zwischenschneidung bekommen.
He's got a combat summon, he's got the ghost.
The horrible
There's
balancing.
no way for him to join this. Now, Poby actually on a great flank of the Sheo. Shroud of Darkness, Paranoia, Sheo flashing away from the Unleashed Power. Will manage to escape.
Not bad. Ey, honestly, not bad. So fucking worth it für Shifters. So worth it. Ich hasse es, dass sie immer noch around top lane sind. Ich hasse es so sehr.
They use so much there, and meanwhile Victor is pushing him in for free. They already dropped so much buff. Shifters does not care about the grubs. They're not going to hit towers this game. Sure, they have the 6, but they realize that Navi overcommitted a little bit towards the top side and is just pushing out the waves. Really happy with that trade. Problem is, you might not have Paranoia for this upcoming Dragon. You didn't really get a clean cross map. You did get a wave advantage made for the 2 waves in bot lane.
I think that's my
Dieser Drake fällt mir viel zu spät. Tatsächlich, also ich glaube, der Drake hätte schon viel früher ein Ding sein können.
You have to invest as Navi, otherwise we could challenge you. I just don't like the overstep from Sheo that forces his flash and his paranoia.
Definitely Poby's flank caught him a little bit off guard.
Flank all around as Poby's going to get caught in this gravity field. Stunned.
Wow.
Storm going down as well. Nuke now running low on mana. Poby not getting.
Morgen außerdem 17 Uhr Derby. Big gegen 1.
First a victor as somebody finds a flank. Shadow Dash away from Sten will get him to safety, but this drag now a lot easier for Navi to do.
Yeah, I mean, Poby has TP. He's completely fine. Nuke used everything, including his Chaos Storm, and now I think Shifters doesn't really want to contest this.
Yeah, I mean, Nuke has Mercury Treads, and now a lost chapter. Like, he had no damage.
Nicht contesten,
trying to chuck out his enemy lane, it makes sense. Before
Oder?
Sheo stepping forward once again, Pedot coming on the side. They don't have stand unites either. This is just a 2v3 look at the enemy taking objective. As Paris hits the Zenith Blade, Sheo still trying to step forward. It feels...
Welches Team mögen wir hier mehr?
They're just sitting in the chair, looking at Navi taking objectives right now.
Oder ich mag Parus, also I guess Navi.
Some people enjoy that. Some people enjoy that. I'm gonna say you could do things on the rest of the map.
Yeah, there's many more options for you. As the Jax does need time to scale up. 700 gold behind right now in the top lane.
Yeah, and a lot of that is because Rooster was farming bot when the growths were happening. Mainzer was grouped up with his team. Doesn't have the Triforce yet, but does have the Sheen and a Phage. And as Rooster has got that Tiamat, which allows his wave clear just to be that much stronger as well. The auto reset on it, very helpful on these AD bruisers.
I mean, this top lane matchup in the All-In is pretty funny. It's like a game of chicken. Because the Jax is fighting with the Olaf, and you kind of need to not use E early, because if you E early...
So, Stan, das wird jetzt tatsächlich Zeit, eine Wave anzuschauen, damit du Level 6 hättest, Bruder.
Jax.
Jax, Counter-Strike, sure.
So you need to hold your Counter-Strike while you're hitting the Olaf, and eventually Olaf realizes that I'm not winning this, because he's going to Counter-Strike when we're both low HP, and then it's too late for him to run away.
Yeah.
But if you Counter-Strike too early, Olaf can just walk away afterwards and then heal off the mini-wave. The sustain of the Olaf is the good point about this matchup. He can just outwit him, or in a war of attrition, the Olaf is winning slowly. But in a pure all-in, assuming they're even in items, the Jax is favored. But he really needs to hold the E for a long time. So Olaf needs to realize that he needs to run away. So we'll see how it plays out now. Still, Rooster 800 gold ahead will be very winning in these all-ins before main to last 5 rolls.
Yeah, the stride break is complete for Rooster. Puts him in a really strong spot. He's now down on the bottom side of the map, as both the bot laners are being put up into top lane. With no real neutral objectives to play on. It just feels like that's where the rotations led us at that point, as Shifters try and step in towards this side of the jungle, but aren't going to find too much. Very even early game. It's only Rooster really with that 20 CS lead.
9 zu 9 Belveth. Well, ich habe 2 Games gespielt und bin seitdem gebannt.
NAVI and Shifters.
Sieht Early Game sehr dogshit aus, aber Scaling war. Also ich habe heute einen Tweet gesehen. Gut. Shifters wird das Game gewinnen. Ich habe heute einen Tweet gesehen, dass die Winrate von Belveth nach 30 Minuten Ingame-Time irgendwie 60% oder höher ist. Also Scaling-wise muss die insane sein.
And it's always when you play Nocturne, the first Nocturne ult has to be a kill.
Which it wasn't. But the second Nocturne ult was a kill.
The second Nocturne ult was the kill.
Yeah.
And you're right, actually. He did waste that.
Yeah, that's why I was annoyed, because the first Nocturne ult is so important.
But yeah, still looks really tough for NAVI to contest. And it's the problem. You have losing lanes. And as we said, Village is fine. But the moment they start going into the jungle...
Weil die User ist fuck. Also du kannst, es ist gefühlt, du kannst halt nicht fighten, weil da sind, also 4 Sekunden Cooldown auf Q ist rank. Oder sagen wir mal, realistisch Level 4, wenn du jemanden findest im River, 3,25 Sekunden auf Q ist halt frech.
I mean, how can you fight against his Olaf, realistically? Yeah. There's no way. With Strikebreaker, he's so strong, they don't have the burst damage to get through him, and they don't have the mobility to kite away from his ult. They're really in Zugzwang right now.
Again, your favorite word, man. The reason I like it so much is I was looking at it as a word I should use in a cast. And then I was like, probably not enough people know what Zugzwang is.
I was casting with Dracos and he said, we should sneak this word in, but not explain what it does.
Oh, really?
Proponent mit dem aktuellen Rework. Ja, ist sie.
Yes, Zugzwang. Excellent, excellent.
Wenn ich es noch einmal so pronounce, dann werde ich richtig sauer außerdem.
Impossible situation to get out of. So this matchup is looking tough now. Level 10 to level 9. Mainter really doesn't have the base stats, you see. You see how tanky Rooster is. That looks like a mountain to climb before Mainter, which he can't really ascend.
And we have a minute before the next Drake as well. Shifters will want to add that one to their scoreboard with NAVI getting the first dragon. One of the win conditions you look towards when you are behind in the early game is, can we Drake stack? Can we force them into a position where either they can't get to Soul quickly, or we can get close to Soul and then make them have to play around these Drakes. For the moment, it will be hard for NAVI to do that, but they are trying to gain control around this bot side river. The problem is there's a few
ja, ich weiß, mach mich trotzdem so.
Shallow area of vision that allows TPs from Rooster. But they're shallow, you know, they're superficial, they're not deep into the jungle.
And this is the problem with playing a champion like Zen in the jungle. It's a little bit unconventional, and the pressure is on you to make something good out of it. Reledge has not picked a very normal meta champion, and they need to make it work in these fights, because right now it's looking like the game is slowly falling out of their hands when it's going to come to the team fights.
Will ich das 3 gegen 3 hier sehen für Shifters? Sie haben 6 Ulti. Kannst drüber nachdenken. Wow, wirklich Paus. Zu deep. Die bist halt langsam. Produkte. Ach du Scheiße, Bro. Okay.
It's a mid laner for AD carry or for bot laner so far in this.
Dann haben wir Urlaub noch 4 Tage, aber das Ticket sollte ja bald beantwortet werden, oder? Hab ja Streamer-Bonus.
I was a little bit surprised with his positioning there. He walked pretty boldly, but I guess he knew that Nuke is back. Nuke gets the trade kill and will allow Shifters to at least recall and be first on his dragon.
I still think he could have positioned better, man. Knowing that Nuke has your back doesn't mean you walk in front of the enemy team. Let's have another look at it.
Like it's very good. Shem taunts in and tries to put the on a Q, but the Pyrus doesn't chain.
Ich hätte wahrscheinlich eher auf Syndra geschaut, oder? So, weil realistisch bekommst du, also ich finde den Flash von Poby zu bekommen halt deutlich wichtiger. Also er grieft komplett, indem er da ins Gravity Field reingeht und gestunt wird, aber ja. Naja, meiner Details, right? Chivo Level 11 außerdem, also der Fight kannst du auf jeden Fall nehmen als Shifters. Problem ist nur, dass keine Shadow Ulti, keine Nocturne Ulti. Riesenproblem. Oh, Sprout, really, it's just so low. Oh, she got griefed. Mir gefällt nicht, wie Sheo Fights spielt. Oder wie er auch Fights angeht. Finde ich schrecklich. Tatsächlich.
That was a good pick for Shifters. NAVI now with Mainter looked pretty strong in that fight. Obviously, what can Nocturne do against Jax? Counter-Strike being so annoying, and you can kind of use your Empower right before the Counter-Strike connects to deny the spell shield, and it's tough for Shield to walk up against him. This Navi that started this, we're actually super low in the beginning of the fight, so that's why Shield walks in very confidently, but it's still 1v2. Rooster is on mid.
Yeah.
Rooster is so far away from this fight, and I think if it's a pure 5v5, Shifters does win this. But the fact
Ja, aber mir gefällt wirklich nicht, wie Shiro Teamfightet. Oder halt, wie er drüber nachdenkt, welchen Skirmish
If he
nimmt.
wants to try and smite steal, he has to go in at that time.
Yeah.
Right? It's a difficult situation for him, but if you just wanted the fight, then you could have waited a couple of moments longer. As the Goldie still only sits at about 700. NAVI now the team trying to invade. Trying to at least get vision control towards this top side.
Eine Wave Toplane kann man und dann into Drake spielen, würde ich sagen, als Shifters.
Well, it's going to be spot vision here. Jumps across with the Aureate Rush, and Stand is here to immediately follow up. A Paranoia there for the chase, and that was agreed.
So fucking... Okay, sind Sie davon ausgegangen, dass die auf dem Drake sind?
He only found the inside of a coffin.
Yeah, we said that he needs to walk together with Paris together. That's really the strong part of this combo, the Leona and the Zen. He cannot just jump, like Leona cannot jump that wall.
Mega Inferno Bomb suddenly crashes out of the middle. Manages to survive.
Ich sehe halt Objective Standoffs so unfassbar schwierig für Navi.
Feels like every single time we pan over there, somebody is getting some bombs in his face.
But somebody doing a good job of keeping ahead on CS while it's all happening. As you can see, damage from the Ziggs and the Victor much higher in the early game.
And I think we're starting to see a little bit of the problem that Shifters has is that they are really strong in 5v5, but in the 4v4.
Navi Downfall der Shifters ist gut, ich finde den Draft, also, ich finde den Draft sehr scheiße von, was heißt sehr scheiße? Ich fand den Jax-Pick sehr fragwürdig und den Sahin-Pick finde ich sehr fragwürdig. Ich finde Shifters spielt nicht schlecht. Decision-Making, wenn es um Skirmishes geht, noch nicht optimal, aber ich finde Shifters spielt nicht verkehrt. Wenn Fnatic nächstes Jahr Jungle wechselt, wen würdest du nehmen als GM? Also, guck mal, ich habe tatsächlich, okay, pass auf. Ich hab's jetzt, okay? Full Roster Rebuild, okay? Ich bin der GM und ich habe das Budget von Gott weiß wem. Ich gebe 80% meines Budgets an Inspired, damit er kommt. Und mit den restlichen 20% lasse ich ihn entscheiden, welche 2 overpowered Koreaner ich hole. Und dann die anderen beiden füllen wir irgendwie auf mit EU-Spielern. Und siehe da, wir haben den Titel gewonnen. Hat der Lions hier auch gemacht, by the way. Ja, so wie Lion, genau. Ja, natürlich. Du gibst Inspired das Geld, das er will. Und er entscheidet, welche Koreaner er haben will. Und du gewinnst die Liga. Was mit Übersetzern? Nein, Übersetzer funktionieren nicht. Haben wir gestern bei Hui gesehen. Weil die Übersetzer, denen ist langweilig. Was macht Stent da? Was machen die Shifters? Übersetzer Hui, dem war gestern langweilig. Und da hat er gedacht, er macht jetzt einen eigenen Play auf alles da und hat das Game komplett geworfen. Alternativ nimmst du als Koreaner einfach einen, der letztes Jahr designated 10. Platz war in der LCK und der ist dann halt der CEO vom Westen. Siehe Morgan, siehe Berserker. Okay, aber das ist so ein Schwachsinn. Guck mal, ich sag's euch, wie die Fights spielen, ist richtig schlecht. Obwohl es eigentlich so leicht ist. Die müssen niemals hart kommen. Die outrangen so hart und outpoken. Da gibt's keinen Sinn. Sind sie auch Tor des Teams Settle, das ist halt Rachel. Ich finde Darkwings okay. Aber die haben halt einen Onkel da oben und einen Onkel, also Onkel auf Top und Onkel auf Support. Hamburg und Rachel sind die beiden, ne? Die beiden Humans.
And now Samdi's 1,000 gold ahead because he was able to pick up that mid tower. Paranoia coming out. There's a Stand United there for the follow up as well. Satchel down and Samdi dies.
Da ist es eine Double Global, so strong. Schaut auf Bot den Tritt, schaut mit den Tritt.
He doesn't have a satchel, does Taduk. It might be back off cooldown. There we are. Now has it back up, so he just clears out that way.
And it's a weird game because it's so even still.
Yeah.
Only 600 gold lead for Shifters.
You never really know which team's going to win the fights, you know? It's a bit of an odd one for...
We are on the European Peninsula. Our games
Peninsula?
Yeah.
Sure.
Continent.
I have no idea. Man, geography, who knows geography?
I thought you knew everything, Medic. No, but either way, it's a bit hard to see who's gonna win the fights, because it really depends. If Olaf goes loco, Haaland mode, going deep in the team fight, Angry Viking style, I think Shifters is winning.
I just want to see Rooster's hair flowing back behind him like Haaland. Haaland.
Like, why do we have boss music?
Exactly.
You hear it, like, muffled in the background, and you see
coming.
this Viking running at you super angrily. But I think if Rooster's not in the fight, you see how it can go. Navi has a lot of bursts. They have the Corki, the Syndra, and if the fight goes long, after one shot, Relech will scale up. He will get those stacks. He will get just way too much AD. It's insane how much AD he gets from the passive. It's like a Darius Lights.
Yeah, it is.
Glaubst du, Caps und Spite würden harmonieren? Gute Spiele harmonieren immer.
Looking towards this top side. Tower already down. Means that they can force Nuke a little bit
Ist meine Wahrnehmung.
to go. Can't step too far forward. Rooster's pushed out bot. Now he's resetting. See if he has his second completed item with the core fields and the Ruby Crystal. Nope. Oh, yeah, there we are. Death Dance complete now. That is a massive upgrade for this Olaf, but is matched by Mainter, who has a Sundered Sky alongside his Triforce, copying Relech.
I mean, Mainter has done a good job holding on to the goal lead. It hasn't really grown for the last 15 minutes. And especially when he gets the Sonias, I think he'll be an absolute nuisance. Doesn't really get that much value from the Counter-Strike when there's 2 mages in the enemy team.
True.
But still, when he gets a flank, if he gets Mercs, which I assume he will buy right now, still it will be super hard to peel off of.
Now we see the Dragon setup from Navi. Knowing that Nuke's on the top side, they can push a little bit deeper here. Stender's in the area to try and protect Rooster on this Olaf. Alongside that, Paduk is just waiting.
Meinst du, jetzt hat er Caps anmaulen?
To make sure that a Mega Inferno Bomb could join the battle if so required. Navi with 12
Aber ist doch
seconds
egal.
on this Drake.
Habt ihr CV Max, oder Entschuldigung, habt ihr das Zitat von Career mitbekommen? Über CV Max, dass er quasi CV Max gesagt hat, wer ist der Diktator? Inspired. So, behandelt mich wie ein Tier und so weiter, solange ich besser werde. Spielt mir like an Anime, ja genau.
Sending in Sten. Nuke trying to look for the poke. Mainter spotted on this vision.
Eyes on the Olaf.
I mean, he's got to sprint at them. That's 100% what he needs to do, as Paris is taken down to half HP with those bouncing bombs. The poke from Shift is enough to force Navi away for now. Shift is a little tentative, a little concerned about immediately starting up the Drake themselves. Want to make sure that they've denied as much vision as possible.
So schwer zu spielen für Navi, dieses, also Objective Standoffs, ne? So schwer, so schwer.
And the answer to a poke comp is just a hard engage on them.
Yeah.
But suddenly you're hard engaging with a Corki and a Syndra against an Olaf.
Yeah.
So it really splits your own team, and you're kind of put in this position like, what do we do? They really need to find a pick and a quick one-shot of a Scattered Weak, of a Leona Flash Shield, Daybreak, Solar Flare combo. That's really their only way, I think, to get the momentum, because they had the control of this area. They were first in the river, but still they got pushed off the objective that they had the sort of control over.
Because of the poke, as you say. And if you ever do go for the dive, paranoia comes down immediately, and then you're separated from the entire team. You can see it's been pretty shifted. The Shifters favored so far. As Ragnarok comes out, there's paranoia follow-up. Counter-Strike.
Auch Lichter aus, ne, damit er nicht jumpen kann. Super. Ja, also, das ist halt die Sache mit diese Double Globals, die punishen halt nicht so super gut coordinated Teams, right? Was macht Sheo? Anscheinend leben.
Dash away as Relech does get the cultivation of war, will revive, but Rooster falls before Relech does, and now the chase continues. Dread return not gonna hit from Relech. Somebody flashing in with a Valkyrie, good taunt.
Wow.
From the shadow dash out of Sten, somebody on the Hexplosive Minefield still gets a double power.
Aber dann darfst du halt nicht das machen. Du hast deinen Turn. Du hast deinen Turn und dann darfst du halt nicht danach nochmal fähig, weil du keine Ulti mehr hast. Looking at you.
I was just about to say that it's so frustrating because you can't play team fights, so you can start playing side lane, and then there's a Nocturne Shen TP just coming on you the minute you step on the side lane.
Genau, hier. Fein. Super. Alles bekommen, was du willst. Warum face-checkst du jetzt? Das ist nicht mehr dein Turn jetzt hier. Das alles hier ist nicht mehr dein Turn. Das ergibt keinen Sinn. Vor allem nicht, wenn du so splittest. Dein Job ist vielleicht noch die Wave pushen und out.
Like, Shifters uses everything to kill Relech here. He doesn't even go down, and he had the revive even if he would. So, good punish here by Navi, and as you say, Merrick,
Somebody almost died.
Somebody Flashdown ist huge. Außerdem.
Oh, does get hit by the bouncing bomb at the end.
Not just almost, he actually died.
He does die. Well, he almost dies initially, and then he definitely dies.
And Parak hits a nice Q's there. Yeah, good job to him.
Somebody still 1.8k ahead, has gone collect a third on this Corki.
Rooster gleich Level 16 und hat TP ab.
It's an interesting choice. I mean,
Und
if you're
fast dritte
hitting
Seite.
missiles onto the Victor and onto the Ziggs, I can kind of get it.
Yeah, I mean, they need to take the burst, and I guess the Collector plays into that fantasy.
True.
You need to burst, you need to find a quick pick before the fight, because if the fight breaks out, I still favor Shifter's comp so heavily.
It's interesting now that Navi have managed to garner themselves a little bit of a gold lead. This is something, well, a gold lead is something we saw Navi with a lot versus KC. However, it was early game gold leads. This game, they have not been in an early game gold lead, predominantly. It's been mostly Shifters. So my question is, after Navi lost to KC twice, having 4,000 gold advantages, is the way they win by being behind and then coming back?
That would be truly counter-logic.
That could be the Navi strategy. Lose the early game, which they did successfully in this game.
Yeah. Very
and now they're starting to come back.
I mean, they are taking some good fights. I will say that fight was kind of given to them by Shifters.
I mean, sure, but this is the LEC, man. Sometimes you just have to rely on other people making mistakes.
Also die haben wieder ihre Double Global Ulti gehabt, ne? Deswegen, das ist okay, auch wenn Nuke hier kein Flash hat. Und währenddessen Toplane. Die müssen, also irgendwann muss Navi halt irgendwo antworten, ne? Entweder Toplane oder Botlane jetzt hier. Lichter aus, sofort Lichter aus, ja, gut. Gut. Aber Shio, oh, du machst mich so sauer.
Very nice by Mainter to get a trade kill there, because he was pretty much in a 1v5 scenario. I think Sten taunted over the wall, didn't really get the shadow dash on anyone, and then just kind of stood there hitting. Didn't really have any.
Glaubt ihr, Freddy-Viewer würden jetzt bei mir unterkommen, auch wenn ich so sauer bin die ganze Zeit? Glaube nicht. Wir müssen netter sein. Wir müssen ein Zuhause anbieten.
Or if, again, Shifter just commits too deep, he could do a lot of damage to the backline.
He does have his secrets, so he's a little status, if not the extra damage that you get from having the full Zonyas, because that needs the larger rod. On the other side, we see Product now.
Okay, aber guck mal, die Sache ist, dann muss Sheo, wenn ich nett sein muss, dann muss Sheo aber auch ein bisschen besser spielen.
Yet to get his third item. And with how far ahead he is of Poby, you have to feel on this reset we're going to see that third item out of
Agreed?
And
Agreed.
See a Drake fight. Is it Shadow Flame?
Shadow Flame or Sonya's is where I'm looking at, but
oh.
He just
Hut ist fertig.
Who needs books when you can have a nice hat?
Yeah.
It's a good.
Also, kein Flash auf Nuke. Wir haben keine Shen-Ulti für diesen Fight. Da muss sehr früh das Licht ausgemacht werden von Sheo. Egal, ob er engaged oder nicht, weil Nuke darf kein Target werden. Der muss mit seiner Nocturne-Ulti dafür sorgen, dass niemand auf Nuke draufkommen kann.
Get me a Fez. Yeah. Happily wear a Fez.
Relage, by the way, 3 Items fertig, Level 16.
Second to the play once again around this Drake. It would be soul point for them. They need to step into
Holy
darkness.
fuck.
Somebody absolutely rips through stand. Nuke puts down the gravity well. Relax just chasing onto the
Lichter aus, die kommen nicht auf Nuke drauf. Richtig gemacht. Sehr gut. Und er ist tot. Lass ihn doch in Deathstand sterben. Nein. Rooster. Nein, Rooster. Er war tot am Deathstand und er gibt ihm das Ulti-Healing.
I mean, it was a great village. I thought that was madness, but in the end, it's Rooster that goes way too deep. I don't know if they expected the Stand United to come out with him, but it was on cooldown by Stand.
Oh mein Gott.
Village with a Thunder Sky,
er war vom Deathstand tot.
Just kind of baits him in. Let's rewatch this. Village finds the W flash on the move. Very deep. There's no follow-up on this. But with the good deliverance, he ults out here.
Ja, hier, er ist tot. Schau mal, wie die HP runterträgt und er gibt ihm das Healing. Oh mein Gott.
He splits his targets. He hits Poby and then he hits Village and then he hits Poby and he's a little bit split on his focus. I think he thought that the Zahen would end up going down to the Q and E, but the healing from Thunder Sky and Zahen Q healing.
Eigentlich ist es so leicht für Shifters, weil Navi ist ja das Team, das in die rein muss. Für wen sind wir? Also für Navi eigentlich, aber es wäre ziemlich schlimm, wenn Shifters dieses Game hier verliert. Einfach weil es so leicht ist zu gewinnen.
Over the last couple of team fights.
I mean, I said that whoever gets the early kills top is gonna run away with the game. I said that it's gonna matter who kills top first, because when Jax is behind, when all of us behind, that can't play the game. I was wrong.
Yeah.
This Jax is completely fine this game. Jax is bing chilling.
Gut getimed. Sehr gut getimed. Mit der Shen-Ulti auch. Sehr gut getimed, ne? Shen-Ulti schon precastet, dann mit Nocturne drauf. Super. Gute Combo. Problem jetzt, Nuke hat wieder kein Flash.
Shifters gonna pick up the Baron here. Kudos to them. Mains are really far up here.
Is he gonna try and execute? No.
Wäre unplayable aus, ja, es sollte unplayable sein. Weil Navi erneut, Navi ist das Team, das eigentlich in die reinlaufen muss. Und dann mit Lichtern aus, plus du das Outpoke, plus du kannst easy picked off werden. Mit Shen plus Nocturne ist es sehr schwierig. Also Navi muss, also okay, entweder Navi muss super gut executen oder Shifters muss richtig reinscheißen. Was sie auch schon gezeigt haben, dass sie es können auf jeden Fall. Aber das ist keine sichere Sache.
From the Shen and the Nocturne just goes on Corki. Corki has flash, but they don't care. Flash comes out, still have the Shadow Dance, gets the Zeke slow as well, so it's super easy to chase him down, even when he gets out. And yeah, we just have more members now. Corki's dead, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah, it's our Baron.
Just a numbers advantage for Shifters, and that's what this comp does well. Like, we talked about the ability for Paranoia, the Stand United, just to be channeled on top of each other. Immediately you have two people on top of the enemy AD carry.
I mean, Shifters had an emergency meeting. They're like, what are we gonna do? Wait,
who's the imposter?
Wait, AD carries on mid waves. Yeah, oh, it always works.
Always works, man. Just jettison somebody out of the ship.
Like a hand in the glove. AD carries and mid lane go well together, and getting caught out is quite on brand for them.
You know, in Germany, the word for glove is handshoe.
Handshoe, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, what should we call this thing we put in our hands? Well, it's a shoe, basically.
I mean, Germans are very concrete.
Literal.
Literal,
yeah. Very literal. I agree with you. TP behind. Navi look to make a numbers advantage in
Was denn nicht in der Türkei? Nee, das war ich, da muss ich wechseln. Sehen uns ähnlich, ich weiß, aber ja.
Lots of damage coming out, but Relech is the first to fall into that cultivation. War Paranoia as well from Sheo, trying to get onto Poby on the backline.
Wieder zu schnell gespielt von Shifters.
Still keeping the rest of Shifters at bay, taken out by Nuke. Sheo dies immediately.
Doch, Stand war bei Misa, ja, ich weiß.
I mean, it makes sense. It was Navi's turn to win a team fight.
Ich weiß.
Go every other, and they collected their free team fight
Joke.
win.
Yep. Only one kill, as opposed to the Baron. Only one kill advantage, as opposed to the Baron that Shifters got off the last one.
Really use their free team fight there, but it is a good flank by Relech. You see him walking around preparing this fight.
Lichter wieder viel zu spät aus. Viel zu spät Licht aus. Versteht ihr das? Der muss viel früher Nocturne-Ulti drücken. Damit die keinen koordinierten Engagement bekommen. Die müssen viel früher Licht ausmachen. Hab nicht mitbekommen, schade. Viel früher Nocturne-Ulti machen.
Right now, it's becoming a bit of a problem for the Olaf. Getting that burst damage when it goes in is really huge, and hasn't really picked up any MR. Has the bit skill caps, has the depth sense. Now is building towards that Maw from Mordius, and I think when he gets that, it's going to be very troublesome to kill him. So far, Pope is doing a good job of containing this Olaf in the backline.
I will say Death's Dance tends to be a pretty good item into any type of damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't only have to be physical damage that you get the reduced.
It is true.
Like the dot duration on. So generally, I think Death's Dance is an MR item, even though it doesn't give you magic resist.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Does help against mages.
Ja, es ist besser Effective HP als die meisten Items.
Exactly. Especially now that
Nuke noch immer ohne Flash. Hadok kein Flash. Also erneut die Nocturne-Ulti. Sie muss früh kommen. Ist heute LCS? Nein. Samstag, Sonntag. Immer Samstag, Sonntag.
Steps forward. Somebody looks for the damage. Ray out of Nuke Duck. Mainter spotted on vision, still spotted on vision, even after he clears out the control board. Shifters say,
Gib Drake, gut.
Send it mid.
I mean, they choose not to go into the control that Navi has been controlling. And I think Navi
Weiter.
is in here.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very quick push out of Shifters. Watch how quickly this tower melts. If you have a satchel as well, it's at least the inhib tower. Now, satchel charge it. And for a second, it looked like Navi wanted to find a flank.
Bin ich in Position.
Drake for inhib tower. How you feeling about that one?
I think Navi is still happy with that. The mid lane tower doesn't really matter. I mean, it does.
You're also losing a blue buff. Does that entirely?
That might actually shift it into favor of Shifters.
Good one.
Yeah. Okay, it wasn't even intentional. Sure, whatever, man. Now, next Drake will be soul point for Navi, and they have done a really good job this game of being first at the Drake. And Shifters, you cannot do that one more time. I mean, I guess if you do one more time, you're going to end the game, so technically they can. But still, they really want to deny this open from Navi, I think. And you have to be there early or make a pick before. We're going right now.
Paranoia standing up there for the combo.
Ah, der Carry auch mit, was hat er dazu?
Down goes Samdi. No escape for the Corki. Was feared up. Did have the flash, but no QSS means that he couldn't get out of the fear or of the Shadow Dash. So Shifters. I mean, that's the...
Ja, so gesehen ist es ein relativ empty Kill. Warum kein Clean Feed bitte voll? Und die Klasse, die mich sehr stören, casten momentan nicht.
Green Herb makes you walk up against a Nocturne Shen alone on the midway.
Here's the thing, right?
Like they all do it, man.
We might have another fight. Oh, Solar Flash, Scatter the Week, Double Sun is huge.
So, jetzt muss mir jemand erklären, was machen die da. Ey.
Massive fight for Navi. Ragnaroking Olaf on the backline, trying to kill off Bobby, and he will get one. He'll look for two.
Was machen die da? Was machen die da?
Why isn't every other team fight win? It really goes back and forth this game.
We should write on the screen who's winning next one. Shifters, right?
Yeah, next team better win is
Shifters. Das stört dich.
Shifters win next.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep a track of it. We think Shifters win the next team fight.
Yeah.
Actually, instead of that, we can just do confetti up here next to their name. So.
Yeah.
We expect Shifters to win. Do you want to put it under? Are you putting Dumpster Fire on the other side?
I'm putting Dumpster Fire and the confetti here.
Okay, cool. So Shifters should win next team fight.
Yeah, let's rewatch this because it's a good pick. It's a massive scatter the week by Bobby onto 2 members.
Nein, aber es ist...
And,
ist der Flash von Victor ab?
W flash, which even if you flash, the moment it connects to you will still pull you back. Think like the old singed fling. You used to work that as well. That as long as you get hit by the first, doesn't matter if you create space with flash, you will still get pulled back.
Oh my god, Nuke, man.
It's a Baron fight. Mega Inferno on down, Shell looking for Paranoia as well, but there's the take for Navi. We going in with Paranoia, Shell? Do you feel...
Ja, jetzt ist es, also, es ist immer noch sehr winnable für Shifters, aber mit jedem Team, bei dem sie missplayen, schrumpft bei mir die Hoffnung.
2 minutes until soul point for Navi.
Wirklich.
The Shifters are sending everyone bot side right now. Maybe it's a little bit too early, because they still have to respond to side waves.
Yeah, you still have 2 minutes.
Gonna take some Drakes, but Navi will clear the Visionary, will be able to push in those waves with this Baron, and I think they should be able to get position for Drake now.
I think if you're Shifters, you really want Product to get another 1,100 gold, so he can finish up this Rabadons before the next fight. If he's at 5 items with the Rabadons, he's so much more powerful. QSS on Samdi as well. Watch for that.
It's for the taunts after the Paranoia.
Yeah,
the Paranoia into taunt, so you
all
can
for the
flash.
fear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but preferably he can just QSS the taunt and then flash out, so the fear doesn't connect.
Yeah, just get out of all of it.
Get out of that CC chain is really big. You can also QSS Nocturne ult, if I'm not wrong, to be able to see. At least you can GP orange it.
Which implies that you can QSS it, but they're not always.
Yeah.
Like, does a belt that cleanses things away equal vitamin C? Who knows? As Navi pushing bot. Ooh, Paranoia, TP behind him as well as they look for the fight. Dash out from Samdi. Good double scat of the week as well as Grim Deliverance comes in from LEC and he takes up 2. The chase in from the Ragnarok.
Ja, also. Das ist, also, Dr. Strange zu callen, das wäre schon zu viel, aber es ist crazy. Es ist crazy.
Navi might just look for the end. I mean, Navi's gonna
dass die bei 40 Minuten proaktiv engagen mit Shen noch, dann ist es crazy.
He will kill your backline. Relage goes huge that fight and just finds all the people made to go for the flash out Product, but he flashes out.
Yeah, Product with a good flash out, but he can't get close enough.
Ja, es ist crazy.
Watch his next explode. Huge play by Navi, honestly. Getting back into the game. Looked very sketchy from the early game, but really confident finishing out. And maybe it is the play to lose early.
Yeah, lose early game, win late for Navi. It was an odd game at times, but in the end it is Navi that go 1-0 up in this series, looking for their first win of a series.
Gerade immer in der Drafting war richtig.
We're going to hand it over to, I believe, the analyst desk in just a moment's time. They all look very
ich hole mir gleich was mein Abendessen.
And now we're going to hand it to them. They're down there, they're comfy. We're going to hand it to them.
Hi, we're here.
We are.
Yeah.
We're here. That's us.
Yeah. If you get me a blanket,
the
that'd be
AZ
great.
people.
I think that'd be free. Thank you. Yeah.
And a cup of tea.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm not comfortable. That was
I'm very uncomfortable too when we see because like we have spent the majority of the game prepping for Shifters. And then the shift.
We saw Shifters like poking
shift.
them out.
What the hell was that?
They poked out and won team fights back to back against Navi. And then in the last fight, they're just like, we're just gonna send it and see what happens.
I am baffled as to what I saw and witnessed in this game. There were so many moments where it all just kind of was like, oh yeah, we've got some things that are working, some ways that aren't, but I thought it was a decent time to kind of bring together a little bit of a compilation for it.
All right.
Yeah.
What
so
is it
like,
about?
Well, what I wanted to do is have a legally distinct wild ways to int.
There's been quite a few.
Was insane. So many moments in this game. Like Shea, I was like, where the hell are we going in this one? There was like every single minute seemed to be a new way where we just have a wild way to int. And I think the music sets the tone perfectly as they start to roll on through LEC. Not actually waiting for a sweeper to proc before he hopped over the wall to die. Like, I think this was just a beautiful moment for everyone involved, you know? I think it was great.
Yeah, Stan forgets that flash is something that you can do against the Shen Pong. And then he's under the tower.
Yeah. It is tough when the enemy uses their buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, I mean, Shifters stopped doing that after the mid-game, so.
Yeah. Well, they did, just maybe accidentally as they like fell on their keyboard. That's what they're all their lives.
Listen, at least they had fun doing it. And even if they didn't, we did, watching them. Something that we keep on seeing though in this meta is bot lane is not a duo lane anymore. The duos abandoned the Princess AD carries. I know, like it's been a
Lane
while
swaps are back.
Yeah, lane swaps are back, and now the duo lane is on the top lane.
That's what it
What's
looks
that
like. That's what both teams kind of decided for here. And you saw that Sten decided to stay. Paris was here as well, which we didn't see, but he decided to abandon his top laner, while Sten said, okay, I'm just going to bully you and not let you farm.
Yeah, and I love this opening because Sten end up being able to force away main turn on this top side. So you guarantee this push coming through for the Olaf. And then Rooster used this really well because it sets up for this freeze where then Sten revisits onto the top lane before Jax can get the reset.
And what's very funny is that Paris was here as well. He also just recalled before we watched this footage. So it feels like back-to-back that Paris is like, I'll cover you. Ah, but never mind, I don't want to stay here, while Sten fully committed to the bit.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of what the support meta is, right? It's committing to the bit, like having that perseverance to outperform, and it ends up in these moments where this one was a little bit of a turnaround play where I think Sten kind of, at least Mainter, going to be happy that he got his whack back against the enemy support. But realistically, I think this is where we're kind of seeing that like support battle really can, I was going to say make a difference, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. Cause
it did make a
then
difference
it just all
in the end.
goes pear-shaped.
What made a difference here in the end? Because Jack Spectre, I'm gonna quote what you were saying backstage. I did that again yesterday, but it's fine. The fact that Navi have a really hard composition to play here against Shifters, and you're right because this support jungle duo was really obnoxious. You just turn off the lights.
Also mittlerweile von Navi einer von
following up
Fnatic
with the Nocturne. So how did that make it happen?
I mean, I feel like Shifters held all the cards because they had longer range, they could poke, but they also had better engage with the Paranoia and the Sun United, as you say. But what Navi had is like a tankier front line, and they have like really good tools if you engage, you know, like if the Leona can get her CC down, if
the usual Gemüse
can get his passive off, then they
the
can
usual
do a
skill.
lot. I just didn't think that Shifters would give it to them. You see the damage of Siggs, right? He did 50,000 damage. I truly believe you play this game again and Siggs just pokes, Shifters just wins. You know, this was a near full build Siggs that could easily play. So I'm doubling down. I think the Shifters
Any other team?
I think you have to, right? Like, I fully agree with you. Like, this
Power Level in der LEC.
like, I do think that at least for Navi, like, if we're
Du warst nicht sehr gut.
and I do think it was kind of going back to basics for them a little bit because
Ist nicht sehr gut.
Jarvan the other day wasn't quite working out for them. So instead, they're putting LEC back onto what was its comfort. Because we had this graphic that we showed yesterday that kind of emulated what we expected to see from LEC, which was this kind of like, hey, I play towards like the Aatroxes, I play towards the Zahens. These are the things that we've seen him have the most success on back in LEC Versus. And as we came into spring, he tried to go more towards the Vi's and the Jarvans and these kind of things, but it hasn't quite been working out. So this to me says that Navi are going to try and go back to this style of LEC on these carry picks on which he can be a little bit funky, a little bit off meta, and try and see if he can hard carry through that. And we got to see it at
Ja, ich
moments.
finde LEC Level sehr rough,
Was
also
diving into the backline and having big effects,
anschaut.
as maybe Sheo went a little bit too deep.
So Navi going back to what worked for them, Shifters going back to the shift. You can take the players out of the
putting in the
team, but you
hard
cannot
work,
take the branding out of the team in the end. I'm just wondering, what can they do? It always comes down to the same mistakes, the same ways
I
to lose
don't
games,
know.
regardless of the players they have.
What do you want me to say? Like, you watched that game. They came in and I was like,
You're the
no
expert.
way.
I don't
They're
know.
supposed to lose. They're supposed to be experts. I watched this game, was like, this is over. Like, you've got this Olaf is like 800 gold ahead. You've got a Ziggs who's poking from a million
das Game war
miles
sehr
away. I'm watching Relets jump over a wall blind and die. And I'm like,
NA sieht ähnlich aus, ja genau. Du hast halt Lion und Team Liquid, ne? Und Lion momentan ohne den Diktator sieht auch nicht sehr gut aus.
Like, we got it. I'm like, what do you want?
Yoinked again. It's all about that shift, baby. And they're back on Summoner's Rift. Navi grabs game 1. Let's see what happens next. It's gonna be fine like that. I promise.
My check. Hello, guys.
Diktator krank.
Hello.
Shut up, bro.
Hello, guys.
Ja.
Poppy. I'm here.
Olaf is coming, Olaf is coming. Olaf, no flash. Look, Nocturne, I like him. Look, Victor is there. Back then ICC. Okay, he's done, I think. Good fight. Olaf, kill Olaf. It's good fight.
I'm going to Olaf.
We win. Look, Nocturne. Nice, good job, guys.
Die sind ohne den Diktator im Playoffs sind natürlich.
Brother.
Das ist aber auch in Woche 4
Wait, brother.
Woche 4 wieder zurück, meine ich.
Let us break this instead, brother.
Wird passen. Prime League ist nicht heute, Prime League ist morgen. Ja, geht
Have a
weiter
break.
mit Big vs.
Have a
1
Kit
und
Kat.
17 Uhr.
What is this, brother?
Perfection.
A new champion. Welcome to my shop. You'll need the right build. Choose wisely, because every upgrade brings you closer to the next level. So tell me, how will you level up?
Want to find your fastest server every time? Express like a pro and optimize your connection in one tap. Express and game without ISP throttling. Express and shield yourself from DDoS attacks. Express and choose the VPN trusted by gamers everywhere. Express VPN. Experience gaming the Express way. Fast, stable, competitive. Outplay the world. It's time to Express. Unlock free Hextech rewards, exclusive skins, and more. Scan to subscribe.
Ich habe Express gerade
In your
7
best
Mal
man
gehört.
speech, you said my wife is funnier than me.
That's factually correct.
Okay.
We're in range.
It's fine, man. It's fine. Relax. I've got this. I have years and years and years of experience.
Yeah, but it's gonna.
And there we go. Look at that. What are you so worried about?
Oh,
Time for a show. Show 'em how you outplay. Go and check the replay. Dubs like all day. Boy, you better know. Know that it might be just a little hyphy. Tronic all about these watches go. Cause the games are straight fire. Every team fight coming down to the wire. The whole world trying just to look like us. Take a look at your.
Ja, ich glaube immer noch, dass Shift das auf jeden Fall ein Game gewinnen kann. Aber das letzte Game hat schon ein bisschen Hoffnung weggenommen, tatsächlich.
This could be the final chance.
Looks für Solo ja. Ich habe keine Antwort bekommen. Die da oben. Lass uns zu.
Talk that good shit. Boy, you better back it up. If you want the up yell, sorry, that's just not enough, cause we got every team fighting lame. Flashbox when they clash, you would never last less than 100. Bring your A game if you want to claim fame, that'd be your main aim. Now you're in the right lane. Show up or shut up, no time for excuses. Can't take a series, you're probably just useless. You want a shot at us, you can come get it. If you're just talking, then you can forget it. We're gonna blow up, we're on the rise.
Wer sagt gleich, dass du uns nicht anlügst?
We wear the clown nose and we wear the crown. Kings of the West, you know we hold it down. Like
this could be the final chance, our last dance together. This could be the final chance, our last dance. Are you ready? Come on, dance with me, with the LEC. Come on, dance with me, let yourself be free. Come on, dance with me, with the LEC. Come on, dance with me, do that Pepe D.
We've come a long way since the beginning. The dark days of double streams, vacation memes, now charged up and charging forward. We are
Akapari.
And we're back for game 2 that I can promise will surprise. Because we were very surprised in game 1. Every single team fight, and no clue really who was going to win. Hopefully game 2 continues to deliver that.
He's right, you know. I mean, that game 1 was very surprising.
Ja, ich kann den Ball spielen. Ich glaube, ich kann den Ball spielen.
We are right now headed into draft for game 2, and already Jace being taken out. I think the strongest top laner on this patch makes sense.
Yep.
Don't really want to give Rooster Jace. I think he will make you very, very...
He'll make you regret it.
Yeah.
He'll make you regret it.
I was going to say yellow and blue, but I don't think that's an English saying.
No, bruised, battered and bruised, yellow and blue.
Oh, it is an English saying as well.
You can use that if you want.
Battered and bruised, yellow and blue.
Well, I put battered and bruised. It's a separate.
Danke für die Schichten.
Oh,
Noch 5 Tage.
Black and blue.
Aber mal gucken. Wir müssen Ticket beantworten sofort.
Yellow and blue. But Echemosis, like bruises, do turn yellow, so that makes sense.
Yep.
And in this draft, banned out a champion that has yellow in their color palette with the Cassio, and the Jarvan's also banned away
true,
by
yeah.
Shifters. Jace, Poppy, and Locke, Navi's bans. Orianna joins the Cassio with the Jarvan from Shifters, who chose second pick. Navi chose a blue
Hast du böse
side.
gemacht? Haben wir Support gespielt?
And, Navi with first pick here.
Yeah, maybe you go for a jungle pick here or an mage. It's a little bit tough because most of the power picks are out.
The first pick is in.
Orianna being banned means that there's no Orianna Akali matchup is going to come our way. And Navi's thinking about what they want to play here.
It's a smart thing to do, thinking about what you decide to play.
Yeah.
Camille available.
Camille is available, but
Horrible.
It's going to get locked in.
Does make sense because the Shen and Leona is out and the Pop is banned. That's very logical. I think we'll most likely see a Rel as the answer.
To be fair,
has been the most popular. I was thinking that Jax is a good Camille answer. We won't see it now, obviously. Because
Silas support. I'm going to say it until it gets played.
It's a, it's an answer, all right.
It's a good answer. People just are unwilling to learn Silas support.
Yeah, I think Rel is a...
Mein Problem mit Rel ist, dass das Rel so langsam ist auf der Map. Haben wir halt viel schneller möglich gehen. Klar, Teamfight ist was anderes, aber...
for my tanks in the bot lane medic. I'm just waiting. As the NAVI is locked in, will probably not be matched by the Syndra because it is already taken out by Fearless.
Yep.
And right now there aren't that many really good control mages. You can go something like a Wei if you really want to outrange her.
You could also look for something like an Ahri, and like the matchup in mid isn't the easiest, but you do have good follow-up on a Camille.
Yeah, and I think the good thing right now is you could take a scrap in mid because you have the Camille coming to your lane. You know that it's on its way. Rumble, a little bit of a takeaway as well from Shifters.
Yeah.
Obviously, this could also be a NAVI top, right?
Yeah.
I think especially when you see the Rumble, then NAVI top becomes a lot more delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
More delicious. Oh.
Yeah, yummy,
My
yummy.
taste buds are tingling at the possibility of a bird into
Das Lustige ist, die könnten jetzt ja NAVI Top packen und das Matchup wäre schon horrible.
Might, just as a disclaimer.
That is true. You need to make sure those bacteria don't get to you, man. Salmonella. Yeah. Named after a
Ich will den Nafiri picken jetzt hier.
Uncooked chicken meat. As the Vi is locked alongside this Rumble, no real surprises that you're looking for an engaged jungler, someone that can dive in with this Camille. Ezreal will be the answer from Product for Shifters, so they are looking for a more conventional composition so far. I do like the Anivia and the Rel into divers. They punish people that are in short range of you pretty effectively.
Yeah, what I really want to see now from Shifters is what are you doing to help this rel? Because right now the rel is pure peel.
Sure.
And if you just want to peel, there are better options than a rel for your team.
That's true.
And I want to see them set up something that she can fight within the jungle. I want to see Shio play something like a bruisery champion.
Xin Shao?
Xin Shao, Lee Sin, anything like that. You are against LEC, so you need to be a bit careful. He is on divide though, so you will not be running into some cheeky picks.
Yeah, you know exactly what you're playing into in the jungle, unless this Vi is somehow flexed into top lane and it's Rumble mid.
I think the champion I'm looking for right now is Wukong.
Yeah, I like Wukong.
Wie gesagt, die letzten 4 Tode waren sehr grenzwertig. Ich sollte am Band werden. Also ich glaube, ich sollte am Band werden.
Damage even when after 6 when he gets his cyclone.
There's also the option of just being a tanky frontline. Like you could run something like a Sejuani. Sejuani Rel for team fights within a Nivio and an Ezreal, and then something that does damage in top lane. I quite like that as a composition.
You definitely need a strong top laner for the Sejuani to work out. Something like a Kled, Jax, Aurelia, Aatrox. Something that can scrap with that permafrost stacking.
Exactly, you want melee top basically.
Yeah, a melee top.
Also in some game.
I do think your mid jungle free.
Yeah.
And support is pretty weak with the Rel, Sejuani and the Nivea.
Agreed.
Mercs is pretty good.
Sind die Bans anders geregelt als in Hilo? Ja.
Talia being banned.
3 Bans each.
Has played quite a bit.
Dann 3 Picks each. Dann 2 Bans each.
As we see Navi targeting the skirmish junglers. The Skarner ban, I'm not sure if I love. Because I do think that shifters need a little bit more oomph in the jungle, and I don't think Skarner will give them that. I'm looking at Wukong right now.
I think the Skarner fits similarly to where the Sejuani was in my brain.
He's
which
kind of the new
Achso, ja.
Right?
Yeah.
More, hey, you come in, okay,
Auch gut, die sind auch gut.
Good luck. Let's see how you win out on this fight. It looks like shifters are following your mental game plan.
Shifters schon, nee, gefällt mir gar nicht. Lee Sin und Neferi, beide gut.
Damage heavy jungler, at least in the early game. Lee Sin, the current hover, but Neferi is going to be a locked.
I like that a lot.
Beide gut.
Rel has a goal. She has a purpose and she has a destination.
Yep.
Shios on this Neferi will want to invade. Vi historically very weak before level 6.
True.
Neferi very strong before level 6.
Very true.
So I'm already looking for some early invades coming out from Shio. And he does need some setup in that. He probably wants some pushing lanes. Ezreal does get pushed. Maybe I can push in some matchup, but I really want to see them use their top lane counter pick well now, because I don't want to just see a Cassante lock-in that's just going to get pushed in all game.
Anivia weiterhin, by the way, ein Flex-Pick noch haben. Also können die Anivia jederzeit Top Lane packen. Hier das Matchup ist gut. Und Last Pick mit der Counter picken. Und dann ist der Drop für Shifters Hard One.
I think with the Terminus changes, we're seeing a little bit more AD carry, but also the Varus that we saw on Friday, I want to say, was lethality. It was just poke Varus, right? And you can still do that with a composition like that. Annie is going to be the mid lane pick. Was Yopit, you're entirely correct. Annie, the mid lane pick, another pick that works so well with the Vi. Vi locks someone up, you then point and click.
Galio Last Pick, das Game ist gewonnen. Galio Last Pick, wenn du gewinnen willst.
Follows up, right? I like what Navi have in terms of pick potential.
Yeah.
Galio Last Pick, Anivia Top Lane, du kannst nicht verlieren. Es ist impossible. Oh mein Gott.
This is not what you wanted to see. It's a Cassante in the top.
I do hate Cassante Rumble matchup. It was the only matchup we saw.
Weil ich mag den Shifters Draft trotzdem mehr.
Versus, I mean. And yeah, Cassante is the fine answer into Rumble. He can rush the Koenig Rooker and just kind of sustain through that wave of flames. He will be good. It will be very difficult to catch him, and that is a good thing, because it is, as you highlighted, Medic, Navi has a very cookie-cutter catch comp. Everyone, except for maybe Mainter, has a way to catch people off guard. You have the Camille ult, and all the ults pretty much.
Bevan is horrible.
And you have the equal.
Horrible is horrible.
So shifters, really important that you play as a 5-man. If you split up too much, if you walk into the river when you probably shouldn't, you might end up getting a Tibbers or a cease and desist.
I like to,
not to your door, but on your face.
Is that going to be hard for shifters in the early game then? When Cher wants to invade, when Sten wants to be by his side, you are always at risk of just getting burst down or CC locked for long enough.
Early game, maybe not, but I think because they all need their ults to lock you down pretty much. I think you really want to use this Neferi early game to get some kind of jungle tempo lead, at least to kind of delay the Vi level 6 spike, because you do have a push in bot lane at least, I would assume. Actually, maybe Varus does push in Ezreal, because he has went for the Comet. The lethality Varus has a lot of base damage. And Navi is pretty much gonna have to defend the jungler, make sure he gets that level.
Aber Shifters wird dieses Game gewinnen, ich bin mir sehr sicher.
Going into the mid game.
Also sie sind by far das schlechteste Team der Welt. Was auch sehr möglich ist, ja, so wie sie sich bisher präsentieren, aber ja.
Finn, I was hoping you'd mute your microphone while you did that, because people can hear you. You managed to untangle.
Very intimate untangling.
Well, yeah, I could just hear through my headset Finn untangling his microphone right now, because it was tangled the entire time. Apologies if you heard that at
Takes
home.
2 to tangle.
It does take 2 to tangle. As Poby steps forward, we saw a little bit of an invade coming out from NAVI, but it's just to get vision on the Razorbeaks. Both the junglers starting on opposite sides of the map this time. LEC will start at his Razorbeaks and path up towards this Cassante, who is diveable. As you say, you can mitigate some of the damage. As Paris splashes onto Nuke, gets the knockback. Nuke stunned up with a Disintegrate, does still have the egg here. Poby electrocutes him, but doesn't quite take down the bird.
I mean, that's still Camille's flash. It will be really scary to lane now against Estral Rel when you don't have flash. Might end up getting punished for that, as Paduk is pushing forward onto Samdi.
Crash down comes out from Sten, doesn't quite connect on Samdi, but Samdi does lose half his health just from auto attacks and the Mystic Shot out of Paduk.
Well, I think the logic there was that we talked about how Shio really wants to invade.
It's fine, extra train here. Komplett fine.
Poby is trading a lot of HP for an egg.
Yeah, I mean, Nuke deliberately standing in a position where it's hard for Poby to take him down when he goes into the egg form. Right? Like, Nuke's happy enough just to trade his egg in. As Poby does look around the corner to see if Sheo is stepping forward.
Yeah, but I think Navi really wanted one lane of pressure.
Yeah.
If the Annie is pushing in the Nivea, it becomes so much harder for the Nefero to invade the Vi, and will help LEC get to his level 6 spike quite fast and safe. But the price to pay is your Camille Flash. And Camille without Flash is a lot harder to play, especially against a lane like Ezreal Rel, because Ezreal has so much damage early game, and Rel has so much CC, so if he makes one misstep, he will end up getting punished for that. But Shio...
He's trying to answer in the mid lane, forcing Poby's flash if he can. Call of the Pack goes up, and Poby flashes over the Crystallized. So Sheo will be happy enough with that. LEC did finish a bot side clear into a reset for a longsword, so his top side clear is going to be a little bit quicker than Sheo's, who's had to go for that gank path towards mid.
Yeah, but now Poby will have to respect. We'll see if Sten can pay him a visit later. Sten has the flash, Poby doesn't. It's quite a good gank setup if Shifters can execute on that, but we are heading into another black and gray, or it's a gray tuned.
It's like a sepia screen. It's the
Werbung,
Breaking Bad,
movies, right? Yeah. It's the Breaking Bad Mexico filter. Yeah, we have a short pause. We'll find out exactly what's going on.
An environmental issue.
Fizz? Finn, I have a quiz for you that Arna sent me. We go 4 pauses if they did happen. Can you name the 5 players in your career that you have played the most games with in the LEC?
In the LEC?
Yeah.
Well, it has to be Larson.
Okay.
And Marcoon.
Are you doing this in order?
No. Do you want me to do in order?
Yeah. Give me your number. If you just name all 5 as we're getting back into the game.
Larson,
Marcoon, both right.
Inspired.
Yep.
Now it's harder. I'm gonna go with Woolite and Vander.
Vander is second. That was correct, but it's actually Hans Sommer over Woolite.
Hans Sommer, yeah, because we went further.
You are.
2020, then we did 2019. That makes a lot of sense.
And that was a nice little way to fill the 30 seconds of pause that we have to get back on into the game. Stend is mid, as is Paris. LEC is in the area, looking for a gank. Nuke still has no flash. Double Shadowing Strike. Flash forward from LEC. Nuke puts down the Crystallizer, manages to walk away.
Good disengage.
Escapes the gank for LEC's flash.
And that's why you go heal on support sometimes, Medic. You know, it's so tempting to go Ignite just for that kill pressure, but Stend opted in for the heal and saves Nuke's life with that movement speed and the little HP burst that he got from that. And still, Navi Paris, the Rel attempt mid.
Mit einer Insta-Abstimmung reden wir nochmal. Warte mal, das siehst du.
For him to go back tired for mid lane to make sure Navi can push.
Ich bin immer Glas halb leer, by the way. No joke. Ich mach das, okay. Ich habe das einfach nur so gemacht. Als Glas halb leer Person. Ich dachte nicht, dass du das sehen kannst. Ja, keine Ahnung.
The important things that you have to do as an AD carry.
Das
the Dawn's helm as well, so pretty.
Das ist doch scheiße.
In that matchup, but LEC looking towards mid again. Stand will spot him.
Das ist aber gut zu wissen, dass Leute immer sehen können, wer die Abstimmung macht.
Flash Frost from Nuke does.
Sehr gute Info, danke dir.
Back onto Poby.
Very adamant about getting his mid gank off. And Navi's very adamant about not letting him.
I mean, that's kind of what you have to do in the.
Welche Abstimmung? Ich hab's nicht mal legit durchgelesen. Es geht irgendwie um ihre Challenge, die
Fine. Sheo on his second clear has a.
Die ist das Story davor, ist, dass man Ton anmachen soll. Ich hab Ton nicht angemacht. Es waren 2 Optionen. Eine war eine positive und eine war eine negative Option. Ich habe natürlich die negative genommen. Bin ich blöd. Oh, das ist tot.
Tactical sweep, Arcane shift forward, hook shot wall dive, good flash forward from Sten. Paduk follows up with a flash of his own. Paris should fall here, and he does. Shifters on the board for first blood.
And that's what you get for level 1 cheesing, boy. No flash on you, Camille. I was gonna say no one is happy to meet see Camille get punished, but I am casting you, Medic, so maybe you're happier, but Nuke in danger.
Nuke down, Sheo looking for the damage on the Poby. Won't have enough with the Darking Daggers. Has to walk out. As
Ich verstehe nicht, warum sie nicht Avenida Toll gepackt haben und Gaio läuft.
This is LEC's preferred mid gank in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you play with a jungler and he doesn't want to gank your lane, just show them this early game. Get your jungler that wants to help you as much as Relach wants to help Poby get through this early game, because he's really been his buddy.
He has. I will say, if you are a mid laner that thinks you can play at the LEC level, then you can raise that argument. But if you're not Poby or above, you don't get to be like, hey, jungler, gank me 3 times.
Ja, machst du eigentlich keine LCK mehr?
You got to be Poby level. You have to have subbed for Faker at some
jetzt nur wegen deiner
point. You're not allowed to say that you need constant ganks.
You need at least a few roads that lead to you.
Some of them at least. Yeah. As you say, Paris tucked away by Stend and Paduk again on this bottom side. Still does not have that flash. With the Essence Flux hitting, Paris in danger of taking a large chunk. Nuke now has his egg back up, but Poby has Tibbers, so makes it a 2v1 and forces Nuke away.
A bear is stronger than an egg. Mostly.
Okay, wir haben ein Problem.
Bears eat birds. Yeah. So I've never heard of a
Es gibt die Woche keine Solo Queue.
An egg, yes. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any birds I'd take over a bear. Depends on what type of bear. If it's a koala, perhaps I would take a bird.
Like a little red.
Oh, I mean, too cute, man. I'd have it for Moa support as we see a fight over the Scuttle Crab. Smite comes out from Relach, he secures it, gets level 6. Now on the chase.
Gibt's eine Begründung? Und zwar kein automatischer Bann, sondern manueller. Und es wurde reviewed schon.
And NAVI take a slight gold.
Yeah, and Shifters really wanted to deny that level 6 spike as we talked about before, but Relach does a great job in the early game to navigate this map state to get that level 6 super, super fast. 1 level above Shio, and that's the power of this comp of Navi. Their pick, their lockdown, their CC, their damage, they have everything on one target though.
Reviewed also anscheinend zweimal reviewed.
Multiple later on if they don't have to use it all on a singular target. We see this fight over the Scuttle Crab. I mean, it's purely who gets the smite off.
Yeah, it's also, if Shio gets that smite, it would look very different. It was a complete flip. But NAVI is not there, Annie is there, still have the numbers, have the smite advantage, and Relach is gonna support himself with a Drake.
Das ist das Problem.
Navi, a lot of it is how far ahead can we get Relach? We saw it a little bit in game 1 where his Zehen defined the later game team fights. Now his Vi is defining the early game. 1-0-1 has got them the first dragon. Now set up for the grubs in 30 seconds time.
Really has been the player to watch for this Navi squad. Relach, ever since the moment he came into the league, has really had such a cool play style. Yeah. So many unique champions, so aggressive, always looking for the next play.
Also ich sag, bis Sonntag ist es kein, also okay, nur morgen ist ein Problem mit Stream dann. Und Rest der Woche ist easy. Immer voll.
It looks like Navi are doing the same setup they actually did
in No Games sind erst wieder im Oktober.
They obviously really prioritize making sure that they have 5 players on the map towards the grub side.
Alle alle
being able to fight around them. Shifters have a Cassante in bot who doesn't have TP, so there's no way for Shifters.
Mater saved his TP, so the moment that this plays over, or they know that they have these grubs, he can just TP down there, and they won't lose as much. Now, usually you have to be a bit careful of a dive, but you have Cassante. I mean, they could get Dove.
Bam bleibt.
He's there to get it with Sten, but Sten showed in the top side, so I think it's quite safe to go down there. But won't be the play they go for just yet.
No, he's going to reset first and then probably get a Haunting guys and TP down. He's trying to build up towards
gerade musst du spielen. Du musst tatsächlich anfangen, Kampelle zu spielen.
Guys does also make sense. It's a small gold lead for Rooster because of those plates, but nothing too substantial overall.
5 von Level 30 geholt, richtig geiler Call.
Objective of the game, Crystallized forces Poby.
Noch irgendeine gute Idee?
For Nuke's liking. It should be okay for the time being.
I have to see what Shio decides to do. He's currently just farming up, trying to get his Voltaic. That is really the big spike for Nefiri. Insane amount of damage in that item.
I mean, this is smart Camille play. You hold on for your hookshot wall dive until all the CC has landed, and then you dive out. Yeah. We often see Camille's try to hookshot wall dive in the middle of a crash down or in the middle of a Zenith play. It's like, just don't do that. Yeah. Just wait and you can escape. It's easy enough, but you can be interrupted if you're in the middle of that E combo. As Relach comes across to try and claim his Krugs, will manage to get them, and the Shifters invade doesn't really amount to too much.
It's a little bit too late for the invade right now. Relach so comfortable with his tunneler, getting towards his Thunder Sky soon, level 8 on this Vi.
Poby locked against the wall. Shell could look for the call of the pack here, but...
Ja, diesem Incident, ja, vor, glaube ich, 4 Tagen, das kann begeben. 4 Tage? 3 Tage, 4 Tage.
Annie or Cannon, I think, would be the two.
Holy fuck, Poby.
Doesn't land the stun, but we'll be able to push out the wave. A common Annie tactic. Just step up with the bear, try and push the wave in, make sure it's outside of tower range as well. Force Nuke to deal with the damage coming out of Tibbers. or deal with the damage coming out of you.
Slow early game for now. Dragon is in 2 minutes. We'll see if Shio gets his voltaic for that dragon fight. I think Shifters would like to contest
Pedot. Stend is here now. Relech comes in. Are they going to dive this? Cease and desist. TP behind as Cassandra tries to join. Rumble unable to get there. Pedot flashes away, but Relech still chases him. Rusa now has a flank as we do see Navi losing one, and we're going to lose two. Somebody's going to go down. Relech dashes out with the Vault Breaker. Should be able to walk around this wall.
Das ist mechanisch gar nicht gut. Also, wir haben selbst reviewed, ja.
Chase from Shifters, but it's a 2-for-1 in their favor. They only lose their AD carry.
Yeah, a lot committed there from Shifters to cover that play. 2 TPs used from their solo laners. Does end up salvaging the play. And Shio is still chilling. He's farming up for his voltaic.
Has his
now.
voltaic, yeah.
He's growing and growing. Really good cover there. Very bold play by Navi.
Yeah.
I think that play is good if you know they don't have TP to cover, or if your top laner is like, I can cancel the Cassante. But he's a Rumble. He can't cancel the Cassante TP. Sends everything onto Padak. But Stend blocks the Varus ultimate, crucially, so Padak is able to flash out and stall for a long time to give the trade kill to Varus afterwards. But now it's just an easy... I mean, something you have flash, but we're gonna flash, man. You are dead for sure.
No way for him to escape, especially with Nuke TPing behind. It's good play all round from Shifters to find 2 in response. And they didn't lose too much on the top side either because Sheo was able to cover Mainzer, who is pushing in that next wave. Still a gold lead for Navi. Predominantly sitting on Relech and on Samdi. We saw what Samdi can do with a lead in game 1. It's about 2k ahead on that Corki. Did get caught a couple of times, but it's harder, I'd say, for Shifters to catch him out this game. They don't have that full dive possibility. Really only the Hound's Pursuit from the Fury.
Gameset ist komplett okay für Shifters.
What Shifters have is range. They have the Nivea and the Ezreal. Now, Navi has a little bit of range as well with the Varus Q poke, but if Shifters
Haben 1000 Gold
are
Deficit.
first in the objective, I still favor them.
Yeah.
Because it's really difficult to just engage through the Nivea ult.
Wenn Mentor okay, also okay, wenn Mentor ziemlich gut im Game ist, dann haben sie genug Damage für den Cassandra, ansonsten ist der, glaube ich, übelst der Overlord auf 2-3 Items. Oh, wow, gespottet, ne? Oh, lol. Sehr gut von Pobina.
Didn't expect to get a kill at all, but gets half health of the enemy support jungle.
That's going to be the Dragon now for Navi. He's pushes them out, and Navi in versus what's the team that was good at stacking dragons? In the past was BDS, which Shio and Luke was on, but currently are being out BDS'd by Navi with a 2 dragon lead in the early game at 12 minutes, setting themselves up for a very early soul point.
I mean, it's still BDS, right? It's big dragon stacking.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Navi are doing. Good job. All round doesn't get the second break of the game. Look, they've been 6 kills in 13 minutes. This is my job at this point, to think of good anagrams.
Ich glaube, sie werden den Punkt nicht wieder abwarten.
Is here, but Paris is here to cover the cross map.
Doing it. Good job, Paris. Here for the cover.
There's many pings behind this
tower. Are you going to dive this? Mainzer doesn't have equalizer. Hipster, Q3 onto Paris. Pedok jumps across the wall. Relech trying to chase Sheo. Went in. Yeah, Relech is a mile away from the rest of his team.
Gut gespielt von der Shifters.
Taken out by the Frostbite. Shifters.
Was mit Sheo war man halt, ich vermute mal, ist einfach, also, entweder er ist schon aktiv krank oder er wird krank.
Your job is cover and defend, not Vault Breaker forward into a team that is sending 5-man top lane. Now Mainzer might be the target. Doesn't have the equalizer to clear out the wave, so probably has to leave now.
Samdi does have TP. Is Samdi going to TP to this tower?
We'll see. Probably also
he's waiting. He's thinking. TP's mid. Okay, that's not the same tower, but Navi are able to hold off on the play.
The Shifters could have committed for a dive there, but Sheo just takes Rela's entire top side instead.
Paris, Hexagod made him onto Sheo. He's used the Eviscerate. Sheo down to a 3rd HP. Chain of Corruption still finds him up.
Wann hat er sein W benutzt?
And down goes Sheo. Pedot getting a couple of harpoons to his back, but he's able to arcane shift out of danger.
Hey?
Sheo, did you use your W to clear the camps in enemy
jungle? I think he did. Now you can do that in your own jungle, assuming you know you're not getting invaded, but in the enemy jungle, you need that invulnerability.
Yeah, I think he was completely fine there if he had a W to just block out the hook shot, or even W the Camille ult.
Or the Chain of Corruption, or any of it, right?
But yeah, gets caught with his paws down in the enemy jungle. And yeah, can't get out of that situation without the W. Has to be a little bit more careful if you're invading, because you are not invulnerable.
No. Because of that, now Samdi 1.6k ahead of Pedok. And this is also because he took that bot time. Yeah, he's got a W here.
Okay.
And like, you do it out of instinct on the Fury, but you do
I mean,
not expecting that.
He pays the price for that.
But it's instinctual sometimes. It shouldn't be.
I mean, he gains 5 seconds.
It's extra damage as well, you know?
Yeah, but ends up paying the price. He's dead now. Maybe he won't do it again.
Who knows?
We'll see. Herald started up by Relach here. Feels pretty comfortable now playing around Poby. Poby has the Malignance. Really wants to throw down Tibbers every single time he has it. But it's going to be a TP committed from Shifters. They don't want to give this over.
Herald started. Relach on the wrong side of the wall has to flash it. Vault Breaker's out, and that is the Rift Herald going over to Shifters.
Leash, bro.
Again, it feels like every player is defined just by who has more numbers.
Yeah.
Which team is more willing to invest the TP early into the fight. And that's exactly what happened there. Nuke TP's in. Mainta doesn't, and because of that, it's a 4v5 in Shifter's favor.
I mean, the problem is you're starting this Herald when you have they had so much vision already around this area, and your team is not hitting the Herald with you. If you want to start the Herald on enemy vision, you need some boys there with you to hit it, because Shifters had full information. They knew what was happening, and they just went over there.
Also,
said, okay, thanks.
Shifter sollte eigentlich favored sein für den nächsten Drake.
Gold lead
Eigentlich.
200 in this game is Samdi.
Mainta wird sein zweites Item nicht fertig haben. Bruce hat eine sehr hohe Base-Tankiness jetzt.
Yeah, he's the entirety of Navi's lead. Like, everything sits in Samdi's shoulders right now.
He's very accelerated.
Paduk ist nicht so useful, das stimmt, aber...
Soon, those arrows would really start to hurt.
And it's into a relatively squishy comp, right? Obviously, Rel does get a little bit tanky. Rooster as well on the Cassandre will be tanky, but he went Koenig Rookham first, so doesn't have a huge amount of armor as of yet. It's Paris. Wow. Almost just killed off by Paduk. Chain of Caution has to be invested by somebody to make sure that his support can walk away.
I mean,
Wenn jemanden Ward zerstört, Add Value,
not set to get this tower, right?
Packt auf den Patch.
Now, as a Relach, you're in here, and you're like, am I really gonna dive this Cassante with my Annie?
Probably not.
No. So he was really left without a play, and this is probably why they picked this Cassante. It's not about winning the 1v1 against Rumble. It's just denying the cross-mat is so powerful. With the Koenig Rooker against the Annie, she can't even go through that shield.
Yeah.
This lane assignment is fantastic by Shifters, and really clever to match the NAVI into Rumble. Usually,
Warum hat mein Blood Shield gerade Servus
how good that
reingekostet?
matchup is. And Annie is really left without a job. I mean, she's a child, she shouldn't have a job. But she's left without a job against Cassante because she's just sitting there clearing waves, getting pushed in by a tank.
Yeah, she's just doing her chores, getting her pocket money.
Yeah.
And it's about it. Next Drake up in 16 seconds time. For Navi, again, they don't have control of the area. It is Shifter's vision control predominantly. TP in early from Rooster.
I like it. Now also Shio has 2 items, has the Serpent's Fang. Is so strong on this Neferi, assuming that's not too early. And will be a menace in the coming team fight. Navi really wants to take a little bit of control, but who is walking in first? Who is face checking?
Vision where Poby is right now, which is difficult. It makes it a lot harder for you to sneak
Placed in Herald.
You can see Paris trying to find a flank position.
Hier will den Herald placen,
As
oder?
well as Cher will chase him out. Crystallized, Mainta has to flash it towards the top.
Kann den Herald nicht placen, oh mein Gott.
Relach goes in, but Rooster keeps him at bay. An equalizer on Paduk is good, and Nuke standing on the right side of it as Rooster's caught out in the chain of corruption, but he's able to walk away. Paris still distracting Sheo, but he's going to distract him with his own death as Nuke flashes away from the Tibbers. Sheo kills off Paris. Reset comes out from Relach as Navi just give up the ghost on third Drake.
Shifters has learned how to be first in the objective. It's a very good sign for them, because turns out it's really hard to enter when you're playing 5 squishy champions that just wants to go in, but there's a Cassante and a Nivea looking at you menacingly, just blocking your entrance path. No one can really walk into that control that Shifters so masterfully had over that bot side river, and will be a dragon and denying the big dragon stacking combo.
Denying soul point, I think, is really important. Poby did TP up towards the top side, so he is going to get a tower for himself.
A small cross map, yeah.
Even out the goal between him and Nuke, but still, the major gold lead in this game is just between Samdi and Paduk. Like, that's it. Like, if somebody has some time in a fight to actually poke and isn't just kept at bay by a Cassante, he can do a lot of work.
Yep.
But if he's not given that time, not given that luxury, Shifters should be able to win out on these fights. We've seen how hard it is for Navi to actually take in an easy fight, a simple fight into this Shifters lineup.
You're absolutely correct. As Rumble is pushing at bot now, you see Navi is shifting all their focus to the bot side, but it feels like Village and Paris is not really playing together. Paris is stuck on these mid waves, but he can't really do anything when the enemy sees him coming.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
Holy
that's
fuck,
a big
die
thing to
Pausen.
talk about as we go into another pause. The last one, by the way, was a player got attacked by a fly, and apparently that's what's happened this time as well. Now, I know that these viral marketing campaigns for movies are getting out of hand. Spider-Man Brand New Day has just come out.
Yeah.
I can't believe they would hire a fly to attack players to advertise Spider-Man from in a movie.
I mean, especially because there's so many birds on shifters. There are a rooster, a duck, and a NAVI mid even. I thought birds ate flies.
Did they possibly? Maybe it's a shifter fly that they've sent over to the Na'Vi side. Actually,
could definitely be the case. Have to analyze because that does not really represent competitive integrity. If you attack the enemy team with flies during
tiny
the game.
fly drones. We're back into the game, thank goodness.
Okay, also, da ist eine Fliege im Ding, ja.
She was going to keep going for a little while. Felt that one in my bones. But I do want to talk a little bit about Vision though, because it
So, die wollen sofort den Paddock Base für Muramana und dann kannst du das Spiel spielen.
Just set up Vision better,
Das
spotted
ist
out
natürlich auch passieren,
Na'Vi,
Mann.
and then being able to play around it. Here, Paris tried to find a flank, but he was on Vision the entire time. He walked around the backside of that Drake. Now, you see again, Shifters laying down Vision. Poby looking for the flank, but he's crystallized off as soon as he's spotted. The dive in from Paris, as you say, still has the egg.
Oh, Relech, was?
Shale getting caught out, though, has to flash the wall himself.
What the fuck?
Caught out in the Magnet Storm. Mainta going in with the Flame Spitter. Rooster went all out. Stend was able to kill off Relech, but now Stend is, that's the wrong side of the wall for him, as he's going to go down. I think the only reason Na'Vi don't start Baron here is they've lost their jungler.
Yeah, and I was going to praise Shifters for a very nice 5-man rotation mid to get the tower, but Na'Vi recognized it super fast. Didn't push out their side waves like greedy little players, like a lot of people do. They see everyone rotating mid and they're like, okay, I'm just going to push outside. No, they sent 5-man here mid to defend this tower. And a really good equalizer on Nuke is the catalyst of this play. No flash on him, gets caught in that corridor, and Relech manages to send it completely on the egg. Shio once again has to run out even before the fight started, and Paddock tries to get some poke, but in the end, when your Anivia goes down, counter this zone with a Glacial Storm or that Crystallized, it's just so easy for Na'Vi, with their comp, with their damage, with their CC, to just run them down.
Yeah, it can just start walking at you, basically, at that point. Good play from Na'Vi to find a punch back for themselves. Last couple of fights have gone Shifters' way. We'll see if the trend from game 1 continues, which is now Shifters should win the next fight.
Let's see, Rooster's rotating up here together with Paddock, or together with
as well from Nuke.
Side.
He's TP to mid.
Oh, they're gonna do this again. Round 2, baby.
We want to get the tower. Still stands, man.
5 mans with a dream.
Hop on it and it would fall down.
They don't have a wave.
They don't need a wave. Rooster just walks
Hobby so
through,
behind
dude. You can take that one down, I trust.
5 level down.
You just 5-man mid to get the tower 1
Can you click on your observer? Let's see how you have your PC. Can you click to see how much health the tower has?
I would gladly do that. That mid and tower has...
You have to click on it. There we go.
43 HP.
43 HP. Oh, well, the observers did it for us.
Thank you,
well,
observers.
That's very kind of you, observers.
Nice.
43 HP. I'm pretty sure you can get around backdoor bonus at this point.
Yeah, I
you
think
can just walk into it.
Yeah, maybe they should send in the fly for the tower.
Yes! It's like a Mysterio fly
Geil.
trap. Paris is locked up in the Crystallize against the wall.
Wacky.
A tactical sweep comes out. The true jump.
And a banana to boot even.
That's a nice wall from him.
That's hard force.
That's a Frog-esque wall. He was
6,
so good.
7.
Can they get the tower? They have
They've got
one minion and a dream.
No, Rooster just walks and autos it twice and it's dead. They didn't even need the minion. Shifters finally break through that mid lane.
Na, Start mit einer 4 immer appreciated. Seht schon, wie schnell der schmilzt.
So he's using the dogs to tank it for him. And I don't think Na'Vi realized that's a possibility.
Solo Baron.
I think he can.
22 minutes as Nefiri.
Relech is walking around.
Though.
No Farsight
Ein Flash auf Relech.
available for Na'Vi.
Die haben noch keine Info, wie viel Spieler hat, ne?
This Baron is a lot lower than Na'Vi realized.
They have to get
Chunked
off
out.
this.
Okay.
We'll walk away. In the end, Na'Vi did sniff it out. Paris is back up in time to help with the defense.
They got the tower. They're happy.
They did get the tower.
The Baron would be a small bonus, but the tower, that was a real objective.
Yeah, I mean, Baron, you know, it will come back. Towers don't, unless they're the Nexus towers, I guess. But now it's a late reset from Shifters. And another Dragon available in 20 seconds, which means Na'Vi have first move on the Drake. Yeah. What will they use it for?
It's currently 23 minutes into the game. Kill score is 6-7, and the 4th Dragon is spawning. Na'Vi, as you say, Medic is first on the objective. You see Poby
I know exactly what
around.
you were trying to do there.
Poby is looking for a flank, maybe. Fog of War, you see here. Thank you, observers. That's really nice. Shio is going for a side angle.
Farsight Automation was used in the pit, so there is vision.
You have to send in Rooster here. You need to be able to take some space if you're going to fight this. If you're just going to look at him, take it, why are you here?
Well, Currently they're just having a little bit of a staring competition. Paris caught out towards the top side. As the Magnet storm down, Paris will escape. Relech still on the Drake.
She was really chunked though by
Wow,
Kobe. 1 HP and had to go
Paris
after.
dies to Paduk.
Blood
Kobe still putting the damage into Rooster. Paduk trying to get into the back of the pit, but can't get there. Relech tries to chase him down. Crystallize on Poby. He flashes across the wall. All out goes the Cassante, and Poby just takes the blast cone
Junge, wie kann man so spielen? Oh mein
The equalizer just used for a slow. Samdy's now just in the pit by himself. But as Relech comes back around the side.
And when all this was happening, she was already full clear to the top side. He was out of there so early. You know, the moment he got chunked, he was like, okay guys, I'm out of there. It's now Mainter looking
Paduk's gonna get chased out. The Hound's pursuit from Sheo. He's back in for the fray. Samdy flashes away from the Dark Flames, call the pack. Sheo flashes himself, the flame spitter burn will be
Das Gameplay, das ist so schlimm, das ist so schlimm, das ist so schlimm.
Goes forward as well. He's turned into an egg. We're basically making a barbecue. The egg gets fried by Navi. Added to the hot dog, I guess that's something you can do, and Navi now will turn their attentions towards the Baron.
And Navi has woken up in the mid-game, not only in game 1, but in this game 2 as well, playing so much better on these objectives. Slowly skirmishing out. Paris is one that gets caught and that played before. But
wenn man so langsam ein Game clearen, schau dir YouTube-Videos an. Gibt YouTube-Channel.
Die
das hochladen.
I think this Baron attempt will go better than the one from.
Also das ist absurd, wie schlecht Shift das ist.
Positioning here, this is what being first on the Drake gives you.
Yeah. Paris is getting caught here because, once again, who is face checking from Shifters? I mean, you have the Cassante. Why is the Camille going in first?
Good question.
You gotta let the Cassante walk up and take some space.
Is this a mistake from Sheo? Is my question here.
Natürlich, wenn er seinen Esel
I
benutzt.
think if he holds his Qs a little bit, because he has... it's difficult. So much damage from somebody comes out. I think he had to pull the trigger early with the Qs. But it's just difficult.
But then the rest of Shifters are like, okay, we can maybe try and find a fight off this. Navi have come back off these resets with the TP in from Poby, and just a little greedy, really, from Shifters, trying to find that little bit extra after the fight.
I mean, Shifters look a little bit desynced. I'm still lacking that support jungle synergy, because the Lafayette really wants the CC setup to go on someone, but now he's the one getting...
Da kann mir jetzt jemand erzählen, warum Sheo sein wenig benutzt, um die Ulti zu blocken, oder?
Go up, but the 6th assist will put him up and then down. Equalizer on the back line as well from Mainter to keep Nuke at bay. Flash Frost out, and Tofo's gonna get the knockback on Mainter, but nothing more. Piercing Arrow does clip Rooster. It might look like his health bar didn't move, but that's because he's got that magic shield in the way. Now with Baron buff and with a man advantage, Navi pushing through 2 lanes.
It's looking grim for Shifters, and it really is that. I feel like Sheo is trying to do so much by himself. Not really relying on his teammate. You have a Cassante, a Nivea, and a Rel. You have so much CC in your team, but if you go in by yourself, you don't have any setup for it.
Yeah.
While he has damage, he has 3 items, can't really get that damage through onto someone just yet.
I do get it. Wanted Samdy's bounty. 500 gold ahead, and their Sheo pulled out again. Now it's a 6,000 gold lead for Navi, and they are on the cusp of their first win here in summer. It's a good performance versus Shifters. Still not the perfect performance.
No.
Like there were some messy moments in the early game.
I've learned, Medic, not to expect perfect performances in our region anymore. And I will gladly praise Navi, because I think they've really played a lot better than their first series. That was against KC. They're a better team. Crystallize goes out, doesn't find anyone in that little alcove. But now Shifters, they have to try to find a pick. You have a Rel with a flash. That is really the man to watch right now. Stand. Look at him. Look at him go on his little horse. He needs to find a pick that can set up this.
They're looking for Mainter. Equalizer down, not going to do too much work. 6th assist onto Nuke as well, as he gets absolutely obliterated, but he survives through it. Glacial Storm down, Relech able to walk.
Unglaublich, wie
alive with the triumph, as you say. Enough healing to keep him upright. Navi will take the tier 2 in the top side. The Baron's going to expire in 30 seconds. Don't think they'll go for another wave push. Instead, they'll just look for these resets.
But at this point, you're 8k gold behind. You can't really rely on an even-numbered fight anymore. You need to find an odd-numbered fight where you have a man advantage. That's the only way for Shifters to come back into this game. A pick from Sheo and the Rel. But here it is once again, they're looking for this pick, but the the Ezreal is not here. He's recalling right now. You are 8k gold behind, and you are going for a 4v5 fight. It's very, very bold. Mainter parries the engager and just gives Relech so much leeway to go in and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, Relech just distracting you, really, on the back line. Almost kills him off.
He had the GA, he felt very confident to go in no matter what. He was really fun using that item.
And now Navi have first setup on this. Soul.
Also ich sag Shifters gewinnt Game 2. Ich spiele leider wie mein C. Der klassische C-Move.
It comes up. Shifters Be very hard to walk in. 3 items though on the Ezreal, maybe enough to turn the tides of the fight.
Look at here on the sideline. He's really looking for another chunk or fancy angle. Has the flash tibbers available.
Roulette's got the call of the pack out of Show as well, so that's that W and vulnerability gone. Rooster trying to step forward, being that front man, but Samdi at 4 items, almost at 5. Makes it very hard for Rooster to step in. Flash cease and desist, they're going for the backline. Equalizer down to the paddock as well. Chain of Corruption does go short now. Roulette is very deep. Hexagon and Maynard onto Sheo. Magnus Storm onto the backline. There's the Hound's Pursuit. Sheo diving in. Mainta has killed off Paduk. Sheo gets the reset on his ultimate, but no one really for him to target. He kills off Paris, but he will burn for it. Mainta will take that kill. And there is the cleanup from Na'Vi. Roulette and Stamdy just chasing out Stend. A 4-for-1 exchange. It will be Soul. It might even be an inhibitor tower. Yep, in fact, Mainta TPing in for it. Could be the inhib on that bottom side.
It's a very decisive engage. Excellent track. You see Paduk's flash. Looks like it's up right now, but it just came up. And I think Na'Vi had that time to a T. And they knew that you could just send everything they had onto the Ezreal as we rewatch that fight eventually. I really want to show you just how confident LEC can be on this fight.
Yeah, he really, I thought he was a bit deep, I'll be honest.
Looked a little bit deep, yeah.
After we saw Paris putting the Hexagon main down, I thought LEC had gone a little bit too far, but we'll see exactly how far he went in this group.
And usually as Na'Vi, you just wait for him to walk in. You have the positioning advantage. It's actually Na'Vi that goes in.
That's a crazy engagement from Red.
Just because they know Paduk's flash is down for circa 30 seconds more. And they really use that timing well. Mainter gets the pick up there later on.
Hier ist Gamisch eine Schlachtung, bis Fnatic alle aufmacht.
So strong in this rumble
Fnatic
right
muss
now.
gegen Alpha
You can try to do your fancy things. You can try to kill him with all your dogs and your left stats, but this rumble is turning into a barbecue, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually really well played from Na'Vi because of their prioritization of who is fighting at what point. You see Roulette go in, Hobie puts down the Tibbers, and then when their seed cooldowns are down, they're like, okay, Mainta then flashes in, goes for the further play. I like the idea of not just, you know, trying to keep punching the Ezreal, because at that point you do start losing the fight, because he has the extra range.
Once again, Paduk walking up on mid, you see LEC on the right flank there. You know how much AD carries love to die mid-wave. He's holding back for now. Do not leave his position.
Baron up in 10 seconds. Na'Vi with total control of the game now. Sideways pushed in. Roulette.
Prowling.
Breaker. Paduk with the True Shot Barrage. Cats out with the Cease and Desist. Arcane shift away from the Equalizer. Now Roulette is deep. A Crystallize keeps the rest of Na'Vi at bay for the second. Roulette Vault Breakers out. What do we get? Well, we got the True Shot Barrage and Arcane Shift out of Paduk, but not much more there.
Some fireworks, that's for sure. Still, it's the battle for this mid-wave stand.
Hobie. Tibbers onto Sten. Sten will walk away. Still not getting big cooldowns out of Shifters, although Shifters may have given up a play towards the Baron, which has been started by Roulette. Now they'll walk, they chase Hobie the long way round. Hobie does still have TP. Rooster trying to be that front line. Stend at a 3rd HP. And Magnus
doesn't have Equalizer though. It's a little bit more difficult now to follow up on the pick of Na'Vi.
Looking for the re-engage. Sheo can just jump across this wall, but they'll jump onto Sheo. Hexagon made in there as well. Caught at the back of the Hound's Pursuit, locked up. A Magnus Storm out from Sten won't be enough to save his jungler. The rest of Na'Vi still on the chase. Somebody will finish up the Baron. Na'Vi will just walk away, and Inhibitor falls towards the bottom lane as those minions continue to push in. Nuke with a good stun on Roulette. Puts down the Crystallize as well. Equalizer though for the slow.
Das ist schön, weißt du, darfst weil die schlecht sind.
Stops Roulette in his track.
Die sind schlecht. Das ist die Begründung.
Still Na'Vi with the Soul, with the Baron.
Die sind einfach schlecht.
Confident engages. Is looking to take this to a 2-0 win.
Somebody going Bastion Breaker.
Oh, I do like that item. We could buff this patch. Still a little bit of a win more item in my eyes.
Yeah,
it's
like,
they
are winning.
Yeah, they are winning, so now they'll win a little bit more. But let's rewatch this play once again. Because I was a little bit skeptical. It looked like it's going to be a 50-50, but a great hook shot from Paris onto the Neferi. Completely denies that possibility. And after this, sure, I mean, you can do whatever you want, Shifter, but you already lost the fight. It's going to be a Baron for Na'Vi no matter what. Doesn't even need LEC in the pit to smite it. Somebody's going to take that down by himself. Not sure what Nuke is looking for here. He was trying to get something back.
I think looking for anything at this point, right? The whole map is dark. You've lost every neutral objective for the last 10 minutes.
And it's a desperate position to be in, for sure.
It's pretty impossible for them at this point. 13,000 the gold lead for Na'Vi.
Sheo did at least buy the Serpent's Fang preemptively.
He got that second on it, didn't he? Yeah. It's very true. Hampton's soul, I guess, as Nuke is turned into an egg. Harris chases him down, and Bopey puts down Tibbers just to make sure they have enough votes. A cease and desist into a double vault breaker on the knockback. Duck tries to escape, but you don't get away from Barris when he is this fed. Only Sheo left standing as Navi rout Shifters.
I mean, I don't know how you like your X-Medic, but it looks like Navi likes them fried as they return to the base. And it's going to be a 2-0 win. Paris goes very deep, very Hildesang-esque, just to make sure that he ends the game with 7 deaths, 1 and 7 on the Camille. But still, very convincing performance by Navi here today. It looks a lot
Das war sehr schrecklich
game,
von
and it's really
Shifters.
what I wanted to see.
Noch weniger gezeigt, als ich erwartet habe.
I think